time we were at historic Fenway Park, Pedro was on the mound, and there was magic in the air. But now the Sox are hurting. Today, they take on the first-place Yankees in Beantown. The Bombers spent last weekend sending a message to the entire AL.
The New York Yankees sweeping the Cleveland Indians.
Again, a one-time Boston great takes the field for their most hated rivals. In Cleveland, the Indians hope to continue their mastery over the White Sox and run away with their 5th straight division title. So, turn up the AC, because things are heating up on Fox Saturday Baseball. Pregame show brought to you by E-Trade. It's time for E-Trade.
It's not like the Yankees still own the mortgage on Fenway Park as they did in the 20s, but the Yankee who will pitch today does own the mortgage on the hearts of many a stocking fan. Roger Clemens of New York heaving today, he says, and overshadowing the showdown of the Shagadelic shortstops. Don't try saying that at home. Derek and Nomar, and no trading away of a Yankee pitcher. We'll also take you to Cleveland, where the Indians are hoping to swap before tonight's no waivers deadline, and where Maglio Ordonez is Chicago's version of Manny Ramirez, and thank goodness after the accident, Manny Ramirez is still Cleveland's version of Manny Ramirez. Alongside Steve Lyons, I'm Keith Olbermann, and from Fox Park, where no trades are pending, although I tried.
That's not funny.
Oh, yeah, it is. It's the E-Trade pregame show, never more appropriately named than today, but with the no waivers, easy trading deadline tonight at midnight. And Steve, while the Yanks have this morning reacquired Jim Leyritz, the big news is something that is not going to happen. Apparently, Joe Torre has talked George Steinbrenner into not trading Andy Pettitte to the Phillies.
Sometimes the best trade you make is the trade that you don't make, and I think good lefties are hard to find. I think Andy Pettitte will find himself when he starts pitching inside again. When he buries guys with that slider down and in, and he throws the fastball in their hands, that's when he'll find himself again. And I think he knows that. He just needs to get back to it, and he'll be the pitcher that he was.
And maybe he and the Yankees and the Mets can stay in first place. 43 years now since 2 New York teams were in first place this late in the season as they are today. More on the Leyritz trade, the other scuttlebutt in a moment, but the other headline news, the umpire situation continues to deteriorate. Umpire union cult leader Richie Phillips will file unfair labor practice complaints against baseball after the National League accepted the resignation of 13 umps. Lost among all this, whether it's Phillips who's to blame or baseball or they themselves, as many as 22 men will lose their life's work, a fact that is preying on the mind of the departing AL umpire Richie Garcia. Tim McCarver spoke with him.
I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to give up my job of 25 years sitting down. I'm not going to let people that have been in baseball for 15 years or 10 years or 5 years or 3 years take my job. I love this game. I love baseball. I love my job. Mad.
Steve, I hurt for Richie. He's a great guy. But this still boils down to what Mom used to say. If Richie Phillips jumps off a bridge, are you going to jump off a bridge with him?
There's a lot of good men here following bad leadership. They were doing what they were told to do. It was a bad decision. And anybody who's just watched what's happening there to Richie Phillips, and they don't understand that these guys do care about their jobs, and they're good at what they do, it just hasn't been watching at all. You need to work this thing out, get it done, so that the best umpires in baseball can continue to do what they do. Phillips for 25 years.
Back to the trades. Roberto Hernandez, Rick Aguilera, Juan Guzman, Rolando Araujo, Kevin Appier, everybody but Steve. A dozen others might be traded. But right now, the only deal, the king is back in the building. Jim Leyritz back to the Yankees in San Diego for minor league pitcher Geraldo Padua.
Who?
Geraldo Padua.
Yeah, that's what I thought. The only reason Leyritz back in a pinstripes uniform with the Yankees is so he can't come back and hurt him with somebody else.
Something came a cropper with a Chuck Finley deal. He was supposed to be on a plane for Cleveland last night. He never boarded.
Well, if you're like me, you're trying to figure out why these teams are all trading for guys who aren't having good years. Finley's 5-9 with an ERA of close to 6. But the reason why Cleveland wants him, he's 16-9 against the Yankees. That's why they want him.
That's extraordinary. All right, let's check the 3,000 board, even though the standard for Cooperstown is actually 28-12. The watch continues. Not yet. Boggs and Gwynn offers. Wade is 8 shy. Anthony is 9. Ripken got 2 more. He is within 34. Boggs and Ripken, of course, were already veteran minor leaguers 20 years ago Monday when baseball suffered one of its darkest days. Thurman Munson, catcher, captain, heart of the New York Yankees, was killed while practicing takeoffs and landings in a private plane in the Canton-Akron Airport in Ohio. On Monday, it will be 2 decades after. But for some of us, it still feels like it happened in the last week or in a nightmare last night. Thurman Munson was, in short, the light at the end of the tunnel. By the time he joined the Yankees 30 years ago next Sunday, an entire generation of fans had seen them do almost nothing but lose, and the amazing Mets were on their way to the World Series. Munson would get the Yankees back there in 1976 with championships in 77 and 78, rewarded both with triumph and with gold. He bought a small airplane, and then it happened. 3 months earlier, a friend in the Yankee front office told me a story about which he swore me to secrecy. Thurman Munson had been flying home to be with his family in Ohio on virtually every off day. But he'd had so many near disasters that George Steinbrenner was terrified he was going to kill himself. So terrified that he was actually willing to trade Munson to the Indians if only Thurman would promise not to fly that plane. The story never got out. The trade never happened, nor did the promise. The Yankees were devastated. In interviews with me that night, Roy White wept, and Lou Piniella begged me to tell him it wasn't true. Thurman Munson won an MVP award. He was on 7 All-Star teams, won 3 Gold Gloves in 9 full years. In the Yankee postseasons, he personally scored or drove in 31% of the team's runs. And most important still, 20 years later, there are players from that team who cannot hear Munson's name without turning away, or swallowing hard, or lowering their voices to a whisper. And there are fans, too, and reporters. He should be in the Hall of Fame. And Munson, Steve, also helped recharge that rivalry with the Red Sox, which we'll see enacted for the 1000th time today.
The greatest compliment a player can give another player is to call him a gamer. That's what Thurman Munson was. You know, the best nickname in the game of baseball to me is Teddy Ballgame. When you're called that, that says it all. I had a chance to sit down with Ted Williams at the All-Star break, and he reconfirmed why he's the greatest hitter who ever played this game.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the greatest hitter that ever lived. Number 9, Hall of Famer, baseball legend, Ted Williams.
You said, when I'm all done and I walk down the street, I want people to say of me, there goes the greatest hitter that ever lived.
Well,
you weren't calling yourself the greatest hitter. You wanted people to think that you...
Well, I'm glad you straightened me out on it, because that's exactly the way I meant it, you know?
Are you?
No, not, I'm so positive of that.
Who is?
I don't know.
Come on, if not you, who is?
I don't know. I could name what I consider the 5 greatest hitters.
Let me hear them. You're right there. Let's start with you.
All right, let's go with Cobb.
All right.
Ruth, Gehrig, Rogers Hornsby. Oh, I want to put Fox in there, too.
Joe DiMaggio?
Boy, as good as anybody I ever saw.
It don't mean a thing if it ain't got that swing.
I really think the 2 players that are in a class by themselves, and I got to say it, is Joe DiMaggio and Willie Mays. They're both great hitters. DiMaggio was the best of the 2, hitting the ball.
Now, you're one of the guys in the forefront right now to get Shoeless Joe Jackson into the Hall of Fame. Why is that so important to you?
And I've seen all the history written. I've talked to people. Been an ongoing thing in baseball for 60, for 70, 80 years. Joe Jackson has served his sentence. He served his sentence.
You're the last guy to hit 400. Why can't it be done again?
I think it'll be done. I've always said I thought it would be done.
Anybody you've seen right now can do it?
I don't want to put a jinx on anybody, but I know one that I think could.
Yeah? Don't want to name him? No, Mark.
I know why he's the greatest hitter, because that's all he talked about.
Yeah.
Asking you questions, see how much you know about hitting and everything, and it was quite a thrill. It was one of the highlights of my life.
You are a world-renowned photographer. You are an expert fisherman, probably the best flyer fisherman of your time.
Now you're
at
coming
one
around.
point.
Go ahead.
What's the thing that you're most proud of?
The thing I'm most proud of. I'm glad you asked me, because there's no question in my mind that I became a naval aviator and I became a Marine. That is the proudest thing that I will ever think I did.
Ted, I understand that your future address is Fenway Park. Is that correct?
Well, as of now, that's where I'm scheduled to go, Colonel. Needless to say, I'm anxious to see if I can still hit.
There's a drive to deep right center. This may be gone. Fred way back there watching. Oh, Ted Williams. Well, if you had written it that way, nobody would believe it, so I even tried.
There's very few ball players that have the effect on other ball players that you do. I have a picture of you that I had in 1984 in spring training, and that's me, you, and Yaz.
Let me see it again.
And this is still to this day the greatest piece of memorabilia that I'll ever have.
Oh, yeah, he's a great player, wasn't he?
You know, you signed one of these to me and one to my dad.
Isn't
You said
that
there's going to
great?
be quite a few hits between the three of us before it's all over. Now, I didn't hold up my end of the
year was
bargain.
that?
1984.
Gee whiz. This game's the greatest game of all. God, it's hard for me to think that this game ain't perfect.
Ted Williams has 3 medals of valor from 2 different wars. Certainly one of the greatest players who ever played this game. An on-base percentage career-wise, .483, and a true American hero.
Yeah, and after World War II, he volunteered to go to Korea.
Yes, he did.
All right, Yanks and Red Sox first battle for the pennant in 1904. The endless thread continues with the unimaginable today. Roger Clemens pitching for the visiting Yankees. You'll see them or the Indians and the White Sox. For Steve, I'm Keith. Now please take yourself out to the ball game.
You're watching Fox Saturday Baseball Game of the Week.
Star Trek The Next Generation, weeknights at 7 on Fox 51.
Discovered after 2,000 years.
We are the mother of all gods.
Of course we are. This alien seductress has a powerful way of controlling men.
This woman has all you guys under some sort of spell.
But her beauty hides a deadly purpose.
You're like a queen bee. You create the ghouls. This base will become her nest.
Which threatens to tear SG-1 apart.
Stand down, Captain Carter, unless you plan to kill it.
On the next Stargate SG-1.
6 o'clock tonight on Fox 51.
We brought you Dodge Ram. Overall, the most powerful line of pickups on the planet. The longest lasting pickup on the road. And the first pickup with 4 doors. Now, here's what's new from the new Dodge. The Dodge Summer Clearance with a $1,000 cash allowance. Exceptionally low 1.9 financing. Or great lease rates. What's new from the new Dodge? Just catch the Dodge Summer Clearance.
Crash dummies are very different from real people. If you've been hurt in a car accident, you know the problem's going to go on long after the day of the crash. I'm Bill Hardy of Hardy, Wolf & Downing. Our firm specializes in helping Mainers injured in car accidents. We have the experience, the toughness to make the insurance company listen. We'll fight hard to get you the money you deserve.
Hardy, Wolf & Downing. Real experience, real toughness. Don't settle for less.
Hey, New England, it's time to get in early and save during the summer savings days at your New England Ford dealer. That's where you'll find a huge selection of Ford Rangers for just $229 a month. A loaded Ranger 4x4 with a V6, air, automatic, and a 4-door super cab, just $229 a month. Plus, you also get a rugged Da Vinci mountain bike and Yakima bike rack included in the deal. All of that in a Ford Ranger, just $229 a month. Hurry in while selection is best during the summer savings days at your New England Ford dealer.
Fenway Park is certainly a baseball shrine, but to New Englanders, it's also a monument to their eternal frustration. And nobody has thrown more body blows to Boston's belly than the hated Yankees. Some people believe in miracles. In Boston, they believe in curses. The Yankees even plucked the best from the DiMaggio family. The Sox matched them star for star, but not title for title. Bucky Dent's blow into autumn's fading light capped a Boston collapse that started about 21 years ago today. More recently, former heroes have ridden back into town as enemies, crossing over to try to win that championship that eludes the Red Sox. As this great baseball rivalry nears the end of a century and the Yankees continue to hoard success, you realize that beating New York and winning in general might ease much of Boston's pain. But in these parts, continuing the curse and being frustrated finishes a close second. Yankees and Red Sox today on Fox. A warm summer day here in Boston for an American League Eastern Division exhibition matchup, the New York Yankees and the Boston Red Sox. Welcome to the broadcast booth, everyone. I'm Joe Buck along with Tim McCarver. Now, rarely does one game stand out during the course of 162 in a season. Today ought to stand out. Why? Because Roger Clemens is back. He's in Yankee pinstripes, and he pitches here at Fenway. We take you back to September 28, 1996. He made his final salute in a Red Sox uniform to these fans who watched him grow and become one of the game's most dominant pitchers. He takes on the Red Sox here today as a Yankee, and Tim McCarver comes off a pretty darn strong start his last time out against Cleveland.
Roger Clemens has won 96 games in this ballpark, many more games than any other pitcher. Has he been a disappointment for the Yankees? No. Has he been the pitcher that they thought they were getting? No. If he continues to pitch like he did that last outing against Cleveland, 7 innings giving up only 1 run, where he used mostly fastball and splitter, he'll be the pitcher that the Yankees thought they were going to get.
In just moments, an interesting reaction for Roger Clemens back here at Fenway in the Yankee pinstripes. We take you back to the last time we were here. A wonderful reaction to a wonderful player. Ted Williams, a salute to the fans prior to the All-Star game on July 13th. Get ready. Red Sox and Yankees come up next.
Hello, Ms. Gruber. Can I interest you in some wonderful opportunities in the stock, Ms. Gruber?
It's time for E-Trade, the #1 place to invest online.
It's here. The GMC Summer Convoy. 2 million tons of professional-grade trucks, designed better than they need to be. Pickups, SUVs, and family vans. And on select 1999 models, some of the best values of the year. So come in now. This is one convoy you don't want passing you by. The GMC Summer Convoy.
The day after it happened, phone lines were down and just getting around was difficult. So I went out to look for my customers to see if they needed help. One thing I wonder about, these people who buy insurance without an agent, who goes out looking for them? You're in good hands with Allstate. Mine.
Select road. Validating tires.
What kind of road can you drive on with BF Goodrich tires?
Approved. Enjoy.
Any road you choose. BF Goodrich tires. Take control.
Fox Saturday Baseball is brought to you by GMC. Do one thing. Do it well. By the people of Allstate. You're in good hands with Allstate. By BF Goodrich Tires. Take control. And by Bud Light. For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
Welcome back to Fenway Park, and a look at the young 23-year-old right-hander Brian Rose. And now a look at the Budweiser starting lineup for the New York Yankees. They lead it off with Chuck Knobloch. He homered last night leading off. He was followed by a home run from Derek Jeter. He bats second at short. Paul O'Neill at right. Bernie Williams, the DH today. Tino Martinez at first. Jorge Posada catching. Scott Brocious at third. Shane Spencer in left. And Chad Curtis is in center field batting ninth. A look at the defense for the Boston Red Sox.
Troy O'Leary will be the left fielder. Darren Lewis, I beg your pardon, the center fielder and an excellent fly chaser. Trot Nixon in right field. Valentin at third, Garciaparra at short, Offerman, Brian Daubach at first, Jason Varitek behind the plate. And there's a lot of talk this afternoon about Roger Clemens. But Brian Rose beat the New York Yankees, the world champions, in his first 2 outings as a Red Sox this year. And he's pumped up, and he looks it.
So trying to defeat the Yankees, the world champs, for the 3rd time this season as he takes on Chuck Knobloch. And as you know, Jeter and O'Neill will follow the first place Yankees, who won here last night 13-3 behind right now a red hot Hideki Irabu. Welcome to a Saturday afternoon at Fenway. Perfect setting as we help renew this rivalry between the Yankees and the Red Sox. A look at Joe Torre, and now the first pitch of the day is over the corner for strike one. Ryan Rose, who grew up South Dartmouth, Mass. Grew up watching Roger Clemens, is hooked up in a battle today with the Rocket here at Fenway. The 0-1. High in the air to left field. At that green monster, looking up. O'Leary, and Knobloch's done it again. Back-to-back games, lead-off home runs, and the Yankees lead 1-0. What a start for Knobloch. We take you back to last night. This drive off the bat of the Yankees second baseman for his 7th home run of the year. Derek Jeter would follow and go into right center field, get one out to tie his career high with number 19. And here today, Chuck Knobloch still getting high fives as he starts it right for the Yankees.
The third leadoff homer by Knobloch this year.
And there's a smoker foul off the bat of Derek Jeter.
Looks like a hanging breaking ball from Brian Rose that just made the net.
So this one starts with a bang. Another home run from Knobloch. See that they went back-to-back last night. Knobloch and Jeter, first Yankees to do it since 1955.
Hank Bauer and Andy Carey did it in a losing cause for the Yankees 44 years ago.
Check swing foul, strike 2 on Jeter. The New York Yankees are starting to hit their stride. But Knobloch needs a more full dye job the next time he goes in.
Yankees starting to hit their stride and the salons.
A ball and 2 strikes on Derek Jeter. Nobody on or out. 1 run in for the Yankees here in the first. And a defensive swing, but a good effort by Jeter to stay up there. Trading deadline hits tonight, midnight Eastern. A lot of people wondering if the Yankees are going to trade Andy Pettitte. George Steinbrenner has put that word out and then has basically rescinded, saying, well, Joe Torre says he can resurrect his career. As Jeter's out in front, strikes out for the first out here in the first inning. And maybe Andy Pettitte will continue with the Yankees, a move that I know both you and I agree on. He should stay a New York Yankee.
I think so, particularly with his postseason performances. Brian Rose, we mentioned his first 2 starts this year in mid-May. He beat the Yankees and pitched very, very well. He's given up 13 home runs now. That includes Knobloch's shot today, 6-3, 4 no decisions.
1 out, nobody on, and here is Paul O'Neill. A down year offensively for O'Neill. As he shoots one into right field, well hit. Nixon back. Goodbye. 2 more home runs in the first inning for the Yankees. 2-0 New York. Tee shot over the wall and right, and just as I start to say O'Neill's production numbers are down, wham, and it's 2-0 Yankees.
The Fenway faithful have not had a chance to voice their hurrahs over the last 24 hours. The Yankees with 2 home runs last night in the first inning, 2 home runs today. Knobloch and now O'Neill on the fastball, right down Commonwealth. Not for long.
So Rose could only watch, shake his head as that ball headed into Williamsburg out there. And with 1 out, nobody on, another run in, 2-0 Yankees. Bernie Williams took a ball. Pretty good swing by Bernie on a pitch in on his hands. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Joe Torre with Bernie Williams as the designated hitter this afternoon. Chad Curtis will be playing center field, and they lose almost nothing on defense with Curtis out there.
Brian Rose is coming off a rather lackluster start his last time out. I've already mentioned the success he's had this season against the Yankees. So Rose is trying to rebound. And here he is giving up 2 runs in the first inning, and we look at his scouting report.
Both of those pitches, the slider to Knobloch and the fastball to O'Neill, were up about mid-thigh high. He has got to be a little finer than a guy like Roger Clemens.
Bernie Williams is gone. A home run, a strikeout. A home run, a strikeout. That means Pino Martinez, as he stands in to follow this strikeout, trying to continue the string against the right-hander Brian Rose.
Rose blowing that letter-high fastball by Bernie Williams.
There's Tino, 14 home runs for the Yankee first baseman, an average of .268. Martinez stands in with 2 out, nobody on. Rose starts it with a strike. Martinez takes it inside, 1 ball, 1 strike. The Boston Red Sox, they have made no secret about the fact that as the trading deadline approaches tonight at midnight, they are looking for pitching. Notably starting pitching, or if they get somebody for the late innings in their bullpen, then they could move Tim Wakefield, their knuckleballer, back into the rotation. They need somebody to toe the slab for them down the stretch if they're going to hang in this wild card chase. They're a half game out. You look at Joe Kerrigan, their pitching coach, a half game out behind Toronto in the wild card chase. Into center field. That's a base hit for Tino Martinez. The first half inning continues here at Fenway. Take a look at the Red Sox starters. Why do they want to add an arm? Well, you look at this combination, and we show you these 4 because Pedro Martinez is on the disabled list, not due to come off until Tuesday when they expect him to make a start. Since the All-Star break, the group, all starters, 4 and 8, including a horrendous start by Pedro Martinez. He shut it down shortly thereafter in an ERA over 7. Jimmy Williams has had to go to that bullpen quite a bit here in the second half.
It is not even arguable, Joe, that Pedro Martinez is the most important pitcher in baseball to any one ball club. I mean, without Pedro Martinez, the Red Sox are an average club. With him, they're a good club.
Jorge Posada now, who has been red hot. 10 hits in his last 16 at bats, was 3 of 5 here last night. Pedro Martinez watching. 1 on, 2 out. And Posada takes the ball. You look at the numbers for Pedro Martinez, this would support what you're saying about his importance here.
Yeah, the rest of the starters on the staff, Pedro has over half the wins of all the starters this year for the Red Sox.
By the way, any thoughts of a 30-game winner?
No, that's
Forget
out.
it.
It's gone.
A 1-0 pitch. Posada takes ball 2, 2-0, and this has been a poor first inning for the right-hander Brian Rose. Nothing like a nice hot cup of coffee on a day like this here at Fenway.
O'Brien in the hole to the hottest Yankee hitter. Jorge Posada, batting under 200 on July 9th, has lifted his average about 50 points.
Now 3-0 on Posada.
You know, Joe, you can tell that a hitter is locked in sometimes by the way he takes a pitch. Jorge Posada taking pitches in a very confident fashion. You're not lunging. Chris Chambliss, the hitting instructor. Posada may be hitting here.
On 3-0. Took to make it 3-1. While we look at a Yankee catcher, we should mention Jeff Manto of the Yankees has been designated for assignment. And as Keith Olbermann mentioned on our pregame show, Jim Leyritz, the king, as they call him, or he calls himself, I don't know, one or the other, is coming back to the Yankees. Runner at first with 2 down, the 3-1. To the second baseman Offerman. To his left, inning over. Roger Clemens on the mound today for the New York Yankees. Takes to the hill here at Fenway. Bottom of the first coming up.
Uh-oh, here comes the skipper. Looks like there's going to be some fireworks now.
What are you doing tonight? Helen and I don't have any plans. Great! Sparky and his wife are coming to my house for dinner. Would you like to join us? That'd be great! Great! If I can beat the traffic, I'll pick up some Bud Light! Bud Light! Looks like you're out of here! I'll see you and the wife tonight!
With a great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
You have a beautiful home here! Oh, thank you very much!
Get the stick, Rascal! It's gotta be the puppy chow.
We recently reformulated Purina Puppy Chow to help provide the building blocks growing puppies need for a long, strong, and exceptional life. Purina Puppy Chow brand.
In the battle against athlete's foot, you gotta have boom. Tough Actin Tenactin. Now in a new pump spray. Nothing stops and prevents the itching, burning, and cracking better than Tenactin antifungals. They're so tough, they even prevent athlete's foot. Get boom. Tough Actin Tenactin.
Change is taking place all over America. Big change. Because now you can call anyone across America for just 8 cents a minute on calls over 10 minutes. All day, every day. Just dial 1010-321, and you can talk as long as you want to the people you care about the most. You don't have to sign up. Just dial 1010-321, then 1 and the number. It's that simple. 8 cents a minute on calls over 10 minutes, day or night with 1010-321.
2-0 Yankees, 2 home runs in the first inning. Roger Clemens to work. We take you back to before the game when he walked out to the bullpens out in right center field. Many of the fans were on Clemens as he walked out to warm up for this start. And if you remember back during the pregame ceremonies before this past All-Star game, Tim, you talk about a no-win situation. What do? You come back and wear a Red Sox hat, and then you make everybody with your new team, Yankee fans, upset because you're not wearing a Yankee hat? Or right as he walks out to the mound, here's his reaction today. Mild, really.
Roger, very smart. He's wearing a new number today. Maybe he thought he fooled the Fenway faithful, huh?
He elected to wear a Yankee hat here at Fenway. He was booed. The only all-century player to be booed. I think Roger was a little shaken after that response, but you can imagine wearing a Yankee hat here as you look at his scouting report. And that slider's been a problem for him.
That is the one thing that he canned against Cleveland last Sunday. Yankees won that game on a Ricky Leday home run, 2-1.
Misses the outside corner, ball 1, and we're underway in the bottom of the first with Jose Offerman, who makes his first start since last Sunday, digging in, a .272 hitter. And an all-star with an asterisk. He really was tumbling with his average leading into the all-star break. Had a good spurt right after the all-star game, but has since fallen back into a sleep, and he has been on the bench. The 2-0 pitch. 3-0 from Clemens. Offerman will take here on 3-0. And walk on one that got away from Posada. Now the crowd gets into it a little more as we look at the Budweiser starting lineup for the Boston Red Sox. You know, Offerman walking in, John Valentin, and Brian Daubach, the rookie first baseman. Nomar Garciaparra at short, Troy O'Leary in left, Butch Husky the DH, recent acquisition from Seattle. Jason Varitek is the catcher, Darren Lewis in center, and Trot Nixon batting ninth in right field. So a leadoff walk. And here's Valentin, 10 homers, 58 RBI. 6 hits shy of 1,000 in his career as he takes ball 1, and that's 5 in a row out of the strike zone to start. Under the watchful eye of Mel Stottlemyre, his pitching coach, on 1-0. 1 ball, 1 strike.
We mentioned Roger Clemens' number. He started off this season wearing number 12. That was the reverse of number 21. Paul O'Neill wears number 21 with the Yankees. So he went to number 22 before last Sunday's game against the Cleveland Indians. That number worn by his son up in Cooperstown during the All-Star break. Roger made a vow to his son that he'd wear that number, and served him well last Sunday.
Baseball players are one of the most superstitious lots in all the world. Talked to a baseball player a couple of weeks ago. He said, "Now, are you superstitious?" He said, "Well, no, I'm not superstitious at all, but it's bad luck not to be." The pitch is up and in for a ball to Valentin, 2-1. He said, "So I do the things just like everybody else, but I'm not really superstitious." 2 balls and a strike on Valentin.
Roger Clemens has a reputation of coming up and in to hitters, but I do not think that was his intention, because he has struggled throwing 6 out of the first 7 pitches out of the strike zone.
Hard hit, foul, past third. And the count 2-2.
Red Sox answering the Yankees last night with 2 runs of their own in the bottom of the first.
On deck is Daubach. Roger Clemens is back here in a different uniform. He came back here as a Toronto Blue Jay. First time back July 12, 1997. With Toronto, he went 8 innings, struck out 16, and allowed only 4 hits as he looks at Offerman at first. Last time Clemens was here, September 18th of 97, with Toronto, a no decision, but he struck out 10 in 7 innings. So he has had success coming back here in a uniform other than that of the Red Sox, as Valentin lines one into right. O'Neill makes the catch, 1 on, 1 out. Well, as we talk about Roger Clemens coming back here, we take you back to July 12th, 1997. And a look up at the press box area looking for general manager Dan Duquette as he made his way back into the dugout. Dan Duquette, who made the decision to let Roger Clemens walk away as a free agent. There are the numbers that we touched on. 5 starts in his career against the Red Sox, a record of 3-0, a very good ERA, 52 strikeouts in just over 38 innings.
Roger had thrown all fastballs until that slider he threw to Valentin, and what do you know, a line drive on the end of that slider. It has been flat. It's just been rolling in the strike zone. He has yet to correct that slider with downward movement so far this year.
Daubach a little late with that swing, strike 1. Daubach 3rd in the American League among rookies with his 12 home runs, a good average of .313. Primarily a first baseman DH with the Red Sox, as Offerman gets another look. Garciaparra waits on deck. One on, 1 out. Another late swing, and Clemens hits 96 miles per hour on the radar gun for the first time.
Just blowing those 2 fastballs right by Brian Daubach. See how late he is. Roger Clemens with a lot of power from his lower body. Forget how big he is. 225 pounds, 6'2½". He's a horse.
1 on, 1 out. The 0-2 is up and away, and it's worth mentioning when you say horse, this is a big-bodied pitcher. The Boston Red Sox ace, Pedro Martinez, is anything but a big-bodied pitcher. He has a big fastball. Pedro Martinez just went on the disabled list with a sore shoulder for the first time in his 7-year major league career. Wondering how he will bounce back on Tuesday. And remember last year all the controversy when Pedro Martinez didn't start on 3 days rest in that division series against Cleveland. One of the reasons why Jimmy Williams figured that his body couldn't bounce back, his arm couldn't bounce back on 3 days rest like you might expect a bigger body pitcher like a Clemens to be able to do.
So Pete Schurig, the left-hander, started instead, worked 5 2/3 innings of shutout ball, and Jimmy Williams was still criticized when the Red Sox lost to Cleveland. Big blow in that game, a David Justice double.
See the numbers in the last start for Martinez against the Marlins. That's why he went on the DL. See you later, Brian Daubach. Fastball right down the chute, and Daubach caught with a bat on his shoulder. 2 gone. And in walks Nomar Garciaparra. The new fan favorite here in Boston. We hope to talk to Dan Duquette later on in this game. And he has been willing to talk about the decisions that he has made here with the Red Sox. 1 on, 2 out. Garciaparra grounds to Knobloch. The flip for the force out. In essence, the Red Sox have gone with Garciaparra and Pedro Martinez in a way to replace Mo Vaughn and that man Roger Clemens. He gets through a scoreless first.
This is an ordinary cell phone. This is Nextel, and it's going to change the way you do business thanks to Direct Connect, its digital two-way radio feature. Frank, you see it? Not yet. It ensures instant contact. Bridget.
Got it.
Cost a fraction of cellular. It just passed. And it makes other cell phones...
Ready now.
Obsolete.
Direct Connect from Nextel. How business gets done.
Taxi! Taxi! 59th Street Theater, please.
Going to see Star Wars Episode 1, huh? Wait till you see the pod racing scene. It's so wizard. Young Skywalker's racing for freedom. Now this is pod racing. Ah! He goes into overdrive. He never stops for anything. Never stops for anything. Never stops for... Well, you gotta refuel. Oh, joy! Crazy alien.
Come on, let's go.
Camcorder, $400. 3-hour tape, $7. Extra battery, $25. Home movies with Hank Aaron and Willie Mays. Priceless. Use your MasterCard and you could win 4 tickets to a '99 World Series game and sit with baseball's legends. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard, sponsor of the Major League Baseball All-Century Team.
For over 70 years, our business has been helping generations of families live a better life. With retirement plans, life insurance, consumer loans. We're American General Financial Group. 50,000 men and women, over $100 billion in assets, helping over 12 million people live the life they've imagined. American General Financial Group. Live the life you've imagined.
Scott Goodyear, Eddie Cheever. The IRL comes to Fox. The MBNA Mid-Atlantic 200 tomorrow on Fox.
Rose gave up a couple of home runs in the first inning, a leadoff home run to Knobloch, a 1-out home run to Paul O'Neill, and Scott Brocious leads it off for the Yankees in the second, up 2-0. That catches the corner, strike 1.
That's what Brian Rose must do to be successful. He is not a hard thrower like Roger Clemens. He has to stay away from the middle of the plate.
That misses off the inside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike. Brocious leading off. Takes ball 2. Brian Rose behind in the count. Leadoff hitter, the number 7 man in this Yankee lineup today. The 2-1 to Brocious. That came back and caught the home plate umpire, Brian Honora. And they count 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Had a shot of Shane Spencer on deck. The 7, 8, and 9 hitters of the Yankees performing since the All-Star break more like they did last year. Batting well over 340 for the 7, 8, and 9 hole hitters. Posada last night hitting 7th, had 3 hits, 2 doubles, and a home run. Scott Brocious batting 9th, had 3. Everybody familiar with Brocious hitting in the bottom of the order last year and driving in 98 runs. Remarkable.
Now the 2-2. Brocious is jammed, and a pop-up to short. Long run for Garciaparra. Can't get there. And a flare hit to start it. Brian Rose back into a little jam, a leadoff single. We look at Pedro Martinez. We hear from Pedro Martinez on his role as a leader with this team.
It's really important the way I handle myself out there, because I know that there are some other kids like Brian Rose and Pat Rapp and some of the other pitchers that are looking up to me to see if they can probably match what I did or just get to the level I am today. And I feel like I have a big responsibility with that.
Refreshing to hear a successful big league talent like Pedro Martinez talk about his role on a ball club other than just putting up wins and what his responsibilities are with young guys like Brian Rose.
It is rare that you find pitchers as leaders on ball clubs. Roger Clemens was not a leader for the Red Sox, obviously led by example, being the dominant pitcher that he was for so long. But Pedro Martinez is a leader with the Red Sox, as is David Cone with the Yankees. Usually it's an everyday player who is the leader of the club.
Check on the runner Brocious at first. He's stolen 5. But a look at him nonetheless. He's at first with nobody out. The number 8 hitter Shane Spencer at the plate. The Yankees already lead 2-0, and Varitek saved a wild pitch there. And Jason Varitek has been busy. He is involved in his 95th game of the season here today, and the Red Sox are playing their 103rd. That's a throwback.
Record for games caught by a catcher in any one season. Randy Hundley caught 160.
Spencer pops it up third base side. Valentin gives it a look. Has a play, 1-on-1 out for a game break. Let's go back to Keith Olbermann in the Fox Network Center.
Joe, how to score 3 runs in an inning at Jacobs Field without a home run. Greg Naughton addresses the ball. Hello, ball. The 3rd double of the inning to score Carlos Lee. And the White Sox get 3 in the first off Dave Burba. They have now moved top 2nd in Cleveland. Joe?
I think a lot of the Yankees came away rather impressed with the Chicago White Sox and their youth movement at the new Comiskey Park.
Used to be a lot of kidding earlier in this decade about them being called the Light Sox because of their light hitting. No longer. Some of those young outfielders, Paul Konerko, had a couple of home runs as the White Sox beat the Yankees 2 out of 3 on their recent trip to Comiskey.
Talked about all the work for Varitek. Scott Hatteberg is trying to come back from elbow surgery. Good young catcher with these Red Sox, but Varitek has predominantly been the man behind the plate. They just recently picked up Lenny Webster, who's been around with Montreal, with Philadelphia, with the Baltimore Orioles. He is in uniform and now on your screen. 1-on-1 out here, and a ball to Chad Curtis. 2-0 Yankees. Solo home runs in the first inning. Boy, they seem awfully bothered by Brocious over at first.
Too much so. John Harrington, the president of the Red Sox.
I want to get back to that. Here's a young guy that's trying to get into a rhythm in this game. And those throws over are called by the bench. Let him pitch. Runner goes and a pop-up into center. Easy for Lewis. He's one of the best out there. 2 gone.
You might be thinking at home, well, the reason he threw over there was because he thought Brocious was going to run. You don't throw to first base when you think the hit and run might be in order, because the runner at first base is not going to try to get a good jump. A good jump is not imperative. It's up to the hitter to put the ball in play. Curtis getting under that pitch. But you have to determine when it's time to work on the guy with the bat in his hand and when it's time to throw to first base with a guy like Knobloch or Jeter on, not Scott Brocious.
Here is Knobloch, who homered his first time up. 1 on, 2 out. Another check on the runner at first. I mean, this gets to the point as we take a look at the home run hit by Chuck Knobloch in the first inning. Little pop-up, but little pop-ups can be deadly here at Fenway Park. Just ask Bucky Dent. Home run into the netting over the Green Monster his first time up. 1 on, 2 out. And a strike over the inside corner. Is there too much of that?
I think so.
Game calling from the bench?
I think so. I think if you're going to allow the catcher to make his calls to first base. The catcher's got the best feel for the pitcher and who the runner is at first base, not the guys in the dugout. But it's almost epidemic in baseball.
Runner goes, pitch out. That'll put to rest our little discussion. They call the pitch out. Jimmy Williams guessing right. Brocious is gone. They threw over so many times, they almost made the Yankees run. And Brocious is gone to end the top of the second.
Yeah. Be there in 10. Bye. Okay. Where are they? Ready, time to go.
LS. The next big thing from Saturn.
Whoa, ready.
John Elway's receivers learned an intricate series of more than 25 pass patterns. They also quickly learned about the Elway cross pattern. But the cross pattern wasn't a pass play. No, the cross pattern was the big red X that one of Elway's bullet passes would leave right on your chest.
Expect more from an original. Original Coors. Brewed a mile high.
Coors in a yellow can. Now that's original.
Were you born without a soul?
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about this.
It's just an oil filter.
Just an oil filter? Look, nothing stops more dirt than America's #1 brand of oil filter, Fram. Now get out of here. How do you live with yourself?
Fram oil filters. Pay a little more now or pay a lot later. And now Fram's rough textured Sure Grip top makes changing your filter easier.
Would you like to make 10, 20, even $30,000 more a month?
I did.
I did. You see? I have created an astounding, foolproof money-making method. Thanks to you, I made 10 grand in one day. Wow. It's easy. Simply send me $50 for my book, How to Get People to Send You $50 for a Book.
It's time for E-Trade, the #1 place to invest online.
Fox Saturday Baseball is brought to you by E-Trade, the #1 place to invest online.
For the Red Sox, number 25.
Welcome back to Fenway Park. Earlier, Scott Brocious fouled one that hit off the glove of Varitek and then off the left forearm and wrist area of the home plate umpire, Brian Onora. Between innings, he went over and got that left arm taped. If people had a chance to catch our pregame show here on Fox, they saw a little portion of your interview, Tim, with Richie Garcia, who is the crew chief with this particular crew and one of the more vocal umpires. As you look at the lineup here today, Richie Garcia umpiring out at second base. Clemens dealing with Troy O'Leary. 1 ball, 1 strike. And I thought it was interesting, and I agreed with what Keith and Steve Lyons were talking about when they said, you know, after all the gruff attitude and the confrontational attitude that you read about and see from time to time, these are men who love the game of baseball, who are faced with the end of their careers coming up the first 2 days of September.
13 National League umpires, 9 American League umpires have had their resignations accepted.
That's down into the corner, and it is caught by Spencer for the out. We asked Richie Garcia, Tim asked Richie Garcia, whether the situation surrounding the umpires would affect his work on the field.
Oh, we're going to do the same job. Believe me, I will never, ever. I love this game. I love baseball. I love my job.
And it's at that point, and that was, I guess, the same piece that they showed on the pregame show, where you see as Husky got one up and in, Richie Garcia break down, and that's when you really understand that these are men who are faced with a pretty grim reality of losing their job September 2nd. 1 ball, no strikes on Husky. 2-0 from Clement.
Regardless of which side you choose to take, as Butch Husky has done a good job, 2 homers in his first 2 games. You got to have some compassion for the umpires, realizing they have been led down a road from which it does not appear there is any return.
That's driven into center. Curtis back to make the catch. Chad Curtis gets the start today in center field, and Butch Husky hit a ball that, well, where he started this season in Seattle would have been long gone, but not here at Fenway.
Or even Safeco Field. Butch is probably thinking that's a home run anywhere else, and it would have been. Fine play by Chad Curtis. We said earlier that the Yankees are not losing anything on defense, or very little on defense with Curtis out there, and he just proved it.
So 2 out, nobody on for Varitek. The problem with the situation, as I can see, in my opinion, is the problem with Richie Phillips, who heads up the umpires union. His major mistake was not reading his own troops the right way and not realizing that so many of them were not buying into what it was he was trying to sell. And when they started to trickle back onto the other side, well, the umpire's cause was lost as Varitek fouls one out of play. Because I'll say this, if every umpire stayed strong and stayed together, they may have had something here with over 60 umpires walking away. Major League Baseball really would have had to scramble, and it would have been a mess to try to replace them all.
You can imagine the peer pressure on a young umpire like Ed Hickox, an American League umpire who spent 10 years in the minor leagues. It's his first year in the major leagues. Do you support your union? Well, absolutely. Almost blindly. And then you leave the meeting, and you've got to ask yourself, what have I just done? I've got a family to think about. What have I done? Probably too shy to voice those same opinions during the meeting. Bullied a bit, I'm sure.
But when some of the voices who came out against Richie Phillips came out, guys like Davey Phillips, a longtime American League umpire, John Hirschbeck, who ironically was involved in that spitting incident with Roberto Alomar a couple of years back. Well, then people started to say, hey, wait a minute. Maybe this union isn't as strong as they claim it is, and maybe it can be dealt with and in a way broken, which is what is going on right now. As many resignations have been accepted by Major League Baseball, and they have had the opportunity now to basically select which ones they want to continue employing and those that they would rather weed out. So they played right into Major League Baseball's hands, and some of the umpires they've had problems with for whatever reason, their resignations have been accepted, and they will, as it stands now, be without a job come September 2nd.
Richie saying yesterday that they can do without one of us, me for instance, but they can't do without 66 umpires. But they're certainly making it clear they're going to do without 22 who have lost their jobs or had their resignations accepted. And Richie's saying that the union will never be as strong as it once was. It's already a victory, if that's the right word, for Major League Baseball.
Martinez slipped trying to get back and cover first. I'm not sure he would have gotten there anyway as he ranged far to his right. We'll see how they rule that. It's a base hit for Varitek. First hit allowed by Clemens this afternoon.
A lot of fans are used to seeing that little Bermuda triangle in right center and left center, but it's rare that you see that triangle in the infield among the second baseman, first baseman, and pitcher. Martinez going after the ball, and then by the time he realized he had to get back, he slipped, and Varitek has an infield hit.
With 2 out to bring in Darren Lewis, the number 8 hitter, a .264 average, 26 RBIs. 2-0 Yankees on the strength of 2 solo shots in the first inning. One by Knobloch, one by O'Neill. Ball 1 to Darren Lewis.
Do we have our normal universal kidding wager about Darren Lewis hitting a fastball to the left side of the infield? Dinner's on me. Same as? Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Last time we wagered a bear claw. Because you said dollars to donut. The pitch down and in, 2-0. So Clemens falls behind Lewis with the number 9 hitter, Trot Nixon, who a week ago today hit 3 home runs in a game at Detroit. He's on deck.
We've described Darren Lewis before as a hitter that pushes the bat through the strike zone like that.
A foul off to the right side. Make it 2-1.
One of the few major league hitters that if you throw him an off-speed pitch, you actually speed up the bat head. So you don't want to do that. Even 2-0, Darren cannot get around on the fastball.
2-1 from Clemens. And the pop up to the right side. Easy for O'Neill. Sunny day here in Boston. Without shades on. Well, they were on top of his hat, but not on his face. O'Neill made the play easily. Back to Fenway after these words from your local Fox station.
You're watching Fox Saturday Baseball Game of the Week.
News Radio, 11 and 11:30 weeknights on Fox 51.
The compact pickup J.D. Power & Associates ranks best in initial quality. A Consumer's Digest Best Buy. One of Car and Driver's 10 Best. Building the new Dodge has been very rewarding. And now, owning a new Dodge is even more rewarding. During our summer clearance, this quick-handling Dodge Stratus really moves with a generous cash allowance or low financing. It's very simple, really. Dodge gets awards, you get rewards. See your friendly New England Dodge dealer.
You already know how important calcium is for your bones, but did you know that 85% of women still don't get enough? So start your day with Total. It's the only leading cereal that's an excellent source of calcium, even before adding milk. In fact, Total has more calcium than the milk itself. No other leading cereal comes close. Simple, low-fat, delicious. So good, you can feel it in your bones. Total. Total Raisin Bran, Total Corn Flakes. One bowl, one great source of calcium.
We asked around where to golf, and everyone said to come to Nunsuch River.
The conditions are always great. It's a good value for the money.
The fairways were manicured so well. It was just fabulous.
I love these greens. They're the best greens in the state.
I love the practice facility here because I can warm up before I play.
It's a great practice facility. It's a well-maintained course, and it's close to downtown Portland.
The greens are fast, smooth, and they run true. Can't wait to play again.
Nunsuch River Golf Club on Route 114 in Scarborough. You've got to play it to believe it.
At your New England Ford dealer, we're starting early this summer with big savings during the Summer Savings Days. And the deals are heating up on a huge selection of Ford Explorers. Now get an Explorer XLS 4-door with no down payment and no security deposit for just $399 a month. With a powerful V6, automatic transmission, air, a CD player, and more. For zero down, zero security deposit, and only $399 a month. Ford Explorer, built Ford tough. Hurry, it's the Summer Savings Days and your chance to save big at your New England Ford dealer.
Chad Curtis getting congratulations in the dugout after that running catch to Rob Butch Husky. Great catch back in that well area, deep right center field here at Fenway. So Torrey came over. And there's the Rocket coming over to congratulate him and thank him. Help him get through the second inning. 2-0 Yankees, and Knobloch, who has now 3 times this season, twice against the man on the mound, Brian Rose, led off a game for the Yankees with a home run. Did it back in May at Yankee Stadium against Brian Rose. He's led off a game 3 times with a homer. Did it his first time. was at the plate when Brocious was out stealing to end the top of the second. Takes a strike. On that pitch out, Tim, we were talking about the calls from the dugout bench.
I guess we should extend that conversation. Pitch outs being called from the bench, that's as perennial as the grass or the artificial surface now. But when what has really slowed down the game, and what I think is more meaningless and should not be given as much credit as it is from managers and guys in the bullpen, is the throwovers, not the pitch outs that are called from the bench.
Not only the throwovers, the step off.
Yeah.
The looks, the old step to third, look to first move. 3 balls and a strike on Knobloch, leading off the third inning, 2-0 Yankees. Knobloch into left field, well hit at the wall off the very top of the Green Monster. Now they got a shot at him at second. Goodbye. One away.
The monster changes the way you play the game. Certainly the way you run the bases. Certainly the way you play left field. Troy O'Leary with his 7th assist of the season. Normally an easy double or even a home run, but not here at Fenway.
Well played by O'Leary. Got the throw to Offerman for the out. 1 out, nobody on. A single, out, 7-4. Now you score it. Now Derek Jeter takes a strike. Just to really hammer this point to the point where nobody wants to listen anymore. When we talk to some old school baseball players, or at least when I do, and people who have studied this game, they say that all those throwovers and all those calls from the dugout bench, even with base running, with some of the defensive plays, takes away the players that are in the game their ability to think. And when they make mistakes, some old school baseball people will say, well, what do you expect? You do all their thinking for them while you're sitting on the bench. Now you get mad because they make a mistake the spur of the moment. Just let them play. Wow, up and into Jeter. And Derek thankfully able to get away from that pitch from Brian Rose.
That mock applause because Roger Clemens came inside twice in this game, and now Brian Rose returning the compliment to Derek Jeter.
Under the watchful eye of George Steinbrenner. Now the 1-2 pitch. Back inside, 2-2.
Now that's where you have to pitch Derek Jeter anyway. So the chance of a ball getting away from a pitcher inside is certainly more natural against a guy like Jeter than most hitters.
Jeter wouldn't chase, and the count runs full, 3-2.
Yeah, your point's well taken, and the scouts that you've talked to, it's well taken, because what you're doing, you're making robots out of the pitchers and the catchers. You're limiting their ability to think for themselves. Ideally, you train them to think for themselves and let them go.
3-2 pitch. Jeter fouls it away.
Plus, there's a certain cadence between a pitcher and a catcher, a rhythm, something you can't see, but you've got to have. Like any people who work in tandem in the business world, certainly it's true in the athletic world. A quarterback and a center, a point guard and a center, or a power forward in basketball. You see it all the time in hockey.
Captain and Tennille. Siegfried and Roy.
Right. Abbott and Costello.
Siegfried and Roy had that unspoken language.
Certain cadence, yes.
Jeter pops it up. Who wants to find that? Sunglasses on. 2 gone. That's the second out. The first out was on the play at second base, and the ball hit off the wall by Chuck Knobloch. Here's what Jose Cardinal, wearing a microphone, said to him when he sped past.
You gotta go hard. You gotta go hard. You gotta go hard.
When Jose Cardinal was playing, he saw Carl Yastrzemski playing in left field, and nobody played that left field wall better than Yaz. Nobody.
And Knobloch did go hard the whole way.
Sure.
Just took a good play to get him, and that's what the Red Sox got. There's the retired number of Yaz out that rim above the seats in right field.
Last Triple Crown winner in baseball back in 1967. Easily the MVP. Gentleman Jim Lonborger won on the last day of the season. Won the Cy Young Award that year.
O'Neill took a floater, low and away, 2-0. You mention anybody in the history of this game, especially American leaguers, and you can almost find a trace of their memory in the game here at Fenway Park. This place is just dripping with baseball history. Base is empty with 2 out and the 2-0. O'Neill didn't like it. 2-1. Rose has been anything but automatic. You take a look at some of the faces they put up here for the All-Star Festival. That celebration before the All-Star game. Count goes to 3-1 on O'Neill. Babe Ruth. I'm sure we will touch on the history of Babe Ruth as a Boston Red Sox pitcher. Started to play the outfield. He moved on, sold to the New York Yankees for the 1920 season. Talk about the curse of the Bambino. That's what they're talking about. A pitch outside for ball 4. For a game break. Let's go back to Keith Olbermann in the Fox Network Center. Keith.
All right, Joe, this is why Mom says always wear clean underwear and don't dye your own hair funny colors. In the event of accident, Richie Sexton gets the fly ball, but then we get to watch this. Now back to Elvis and Colonel Parker.
That's appropriate.
Oh, man.
You're a big Elvis guy, right?
I certainly am.
Am? Yeah, I'm an Elvis fan still. I can be, just because he's passed doesn't mean that I can't still be part of his fandom. Colonel Parker was that chicken guy, right? No. Colonel Parker did very well by Elvis. Very well. Bernie Williams now. 1 on, 2 out. It's all funny until we bring up the name Elvis. Then you change. Can't help it. Williams fouls it back. I've learned one thing in the 4 years it will work together. What? You can say what you want. It's all frivolity. It's all giggles. But then you bring up the name of Elvis Presley, and there's this look, this curtain that comes down like, don't mess with it. Thank you very much. That's it. That's the only skit we can come up with here on camera. 1 on, 2 out. And that's a shame. It is. The 0-1 to Bernie Williams. 60% of the country just saw that. Down and in, and a throw to try to get O'Neill, and Garciaparra missed him on the way by. The obvious scouting report on Jason Varitek, and the combination of Varitek and Rose run on him. Brocious was running earlier, and now O'Neill gets his 7th of the year. Nomar a little late covering, but he had to go to the inside of the bag as the throw leaking toward first base. A fine slide by Paul O'Neill to the outside of second. Sometimes you watch the fielder. They said defensive back should watch an end's eyes or a back's eyes. That's up the middle. Offerman keeps it on the infield and will put it in his pocket. Good play for a guy who's been under fire for his defense. O'Neill stops at third, and Williams on at first with a single. Fine play by Jose Offerman to temporarily prevent a run. If Brian Rose gets Tino Martinez out, it will be a bigger play, obviously. Now, the one thing that I don't understand, Jose Offerman, it was said, did not start a game since last Sunday because of his defense. I mean, if you sign this guy, Jose Offerman, to a 4-year deal, you know he's not a good defensive player. So the minute he has problems as a defensive player, you're going to put him on the bench. I know it's a combination of his not hitting, too. First and third, 2 out. A pitch inside. Add to that. that Jose Offerman has had the chance to work with two of the best infield coaches in the game over the past 20-30 years. Joey Amalfitano in Los Angeles and Jimmy Williams here with the Red Sox. You don't get any better than that.
Nope, you don't.
You knew that coming in. Tino Martinez takes one on the outside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike. Dan Duquette is on the phone, and I would imagine if you went on location to every ballpark across America today, you would see the general manager holding a phone up to his ear. He's actively working on deals, and we hope to visit with him a little later as Martinez takes it down and in. 2-1 from Brian Rose.
Phone calls by general managers with the trading deadline about 10 hours away takes on a lot more significance on July 31st. Of course, trades can be made after July 31st, but players must clear waivers first, and that's often difficult.
Martinez rips it foul. 2-2. You missed it earlier. We mentioned that Jim Leyritz is now back in pinstripes this season with the Padres. 8 home runs, an average of .239. Broke a bone in his left hand. Was activated yesterday, and he was acquired for minor league pitcher Geraldo Padua. And he is a favorite of that man's. George Steinbrenner has always enjoyed the presence of Jim Leyritz. While with other teams, Jim Leyritz has stepped on some toes along his path through the big leagues. The 2-2. Spoiled by Martinez.
But Jim Leyritz has always produced in the postseason with huge hits. He did it last year for San Diego. In some of those games against Houston, he almost single-handedly beat the Astros. That home run against Billy Wagner, the home run against Randy Johnson.
He has 7 career postseason home runs. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 on, 2 out. And that's back toward us. Two blondies sitting next to one another. Shane Spencer, Chuck Knobloch. We were there at Yankee Stadium when Ray Ordonez dyed his hair, and whether it's the firings of the coaches or maybe the dye job by Ray Ordonez, the Mets have rolled all the way to first place. They're in first place after a win yesterday at Wrigley. That's over the outside corner, according to Brian Onora, not according to Tino Martinez. But the inning is over. Strikeout number 3 for Rose. Bottom of the 3rd inning. Trot Nixon, Offerman, Valentin coming up for the Red Sox, down 2.
Yeah, folks, there's some turbulence reported. We're going to climb to 30,000 feet.
With a great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down.
Uh-oh.
Make it a Bud Light.
Sir, I'm going to have to ask you to return to your seat.
Need a battery?
Now at Pep Boys, get a ProStart 75-month battery from $44.99. ProStart name brand quality batteries by Exide from $44.99.
Pep Boys.
Cars like us.
People love us.
Get the stick, Rascal! It's gotta be the puppy chow.
We recently reformulated Purina Puppy Chow to help provide the building blocks growing puppies need for a long, strong, and exceptional life. Purina Puppy Chow brand.
Doesn't your body love fruit?
Everybody loves fruit.
Hanging fruit? Chilled fruit? Cool fruit?
Everybody loves fruit.
Bodies in motion? Bodies at rest. The new cotton boxer collection from Fruit. More fashionable, more comfortable. New prints, new styles, the new Fruit.
Everybody loves.
It's cotton boxers from Fruit of the Loom. Go out and get it.
I make my movies for? The common people, the little people. Little people go to the films. I don't mean midgets. I mean, they go to the movies too, because the seats are very comfortable for a midget.
A look at first base coach Jose Cardinal. You know, he's wearing a microphone for us. But sometimes you don't need to hear what it is that he's saying. Just look at his body language after Bernie Williams handed him the shin protector, the batting gloves, the forearm protector. We already heard his main job saying, gotta go hard, gotta go hard, gotta go hard. Number 1A job of a first base coach is to hold all that junk when guys get down to first base. Here's Trot Nixon.
Start your own sporting goods store.
Basically. Waiting for the bat boy to come relieve him as Nixon pounds one into center. Curtis looks up. Goodbye. 2-1 Yankees. A home run by Nixon. He hit 3 last Saturday. He's 1 for 1 in his Saturday cuts here against the Yankees.
Home run number 7, and what was it? A breaking ball, a hanging breaking ball. It looked like the first curveball that Roger Clemens has thrown in this game to inch the Red Sox closer.
Back to the heat, up and away for ball 1 to Jose Offerman.
Some pitches that are up are not mistakes. That was a mistake. A roller instead of a curveball, and that roller ends up rolling about 430 feet straight away center field.
The 1-0. Offerman took a fastball strike, 95 miles per hour from Clemens. 272 average for a guy who was hitting 346 on May 19th. Checked his swing on that pitch low and away, 2-1. Offerman, nobody on or out, takes ball 3. Clemens hasn't been zeroed in so far in this start. Walked the leadoff hitter Offerman, who's at the plate now, back in the first inning, and he walks him again. Tying run is on for the Red Sox.
As far as scouting reports are concerned, last Saturday, Joe, you mentioned the 3 home runs, all off breaking balls. The first 2 off Jeff Weaver, 2 sliders back door. This one off Willie Blair, appeared to be a fastball. This much is the American League pitchers have found out the last 2 Saturdays. Trot Nixon can handle the off-speed stuff.
So his home run cuts the Yankee lead in half, and now after a walk, runner at first, nobody out for John Valentin, who lined out to right. His first time and takes a strike. Just to go back to the scouting report for Clemens, it's obvious he's still got the very good fastball. But it's what he does with those pitches off the fastball, and they have been the ones that have been hit predominantly this season. Compile an ERA of over 4.5.
That slider has been the demise of a lot of pitchers. Anthony Young lost 27 games in a row over a 2-year period for the New York Mets. And I can't tell you how damaging that slider was, game after game after game.
Offerman got an unbelievable jump, and Posada will just watch him steal number 13. Tim, he started running. Clemens still had the ball.
It was almost like Roger had wound up. Watch Offerman. All a catcher can do in these situations, throw to third and cut him off.
So Offerman gets number 13, and the tying run a hit away for the Red Sox as Valentin is set up at 0-2. On deck is Daubach. After Daubach, Garciaparra. Valentin has been a little better in this spot. Average over 300 with runners in scoring position. There's one. Offerman at second, nobody out. Head of Valentin, a wild pitch, and the tying run 90 feet away.
The crowd here at Fenway used to cheer when Roger Clemens pitched inside. This ball appeared to get away from him. You could see Posada sitting outside. And now Mott cheers at a ball coming inside to Valentin, but a wild pitch on Roger Clemens.
The 2-2. Valentin hung in there well. The count stays 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Sometimes if you get a reputation of pitching hitters inside, even when you come inside inadvertently on a backup slider or a pitch that's not designed to do that, people still think that you're doing it.
See Pedro Martinez for that.
Yeah, right.
Runner at third, nobody out. That's the tying run. Clemens and Valentin. Into left center field. Spencer with a catch. Offerman the tag. Offerman the score. It's a 2-2 game as Offerman nearly broke an ankle going across the plate. Valentin ties it with a sac fly to left.
Jose Offerman almost missed home plate. It appeared to me that he hit the back edge of home plate with the heel of his left shoe. We'll see. Shane Spencer does not have a good throwing arm. Right there, and he almost stepped over home plate. Oh, no, he stepped right on it, but he did slide on the heel of his left foot.
Plastic spikes versus metal. Those plastic spikes slid right across home. Good thing Offerman's wearing high tops as this crowd starts chanting Roger.
The Red Sox fans were the first to have that cheer, mock cheer again, of Darrow, Darrow. Today it's Roger, Roger. Darryl Strawberry back in the 1986 series, World Series, Red Sox and Mets. That at least was the first time I remember hearing it. And the first time I've ever heard him up here say Roger, Roger.
The 2-1. Dahlbach fouls it back 2-2. The numbers for Dahlbach: struck out looking his first time. The 2-2. Knobloch picks it up, throws him out. 2 gone. Well, it was a more corporate crowd, to be sure, for the All-Star game here on July 13th. That crowd was worn out after the opening ceremonies, cheering for Ted Williams and some of the greatest players this century. Garciaparra digs in, and this crowd is into the game here today. Yankees and Red Sox fans, and Clemens back as a Yankee pitching at Fenway Park. Louder now here in the 3rd inning than at any point during the All-Star game itself that Tuesday night. Take a look at a comparison of the 2 shortstops. Look at that bottom line. No pair of shortstops have each hit .350 or better this century. It hasn't happened with 2 .350 or better. 2 from the same league, and there they are, 2 of the best young ones in the game.
Derek Jeter replacing Nomar Garciaparra in the top of the 4th inning at the All-Star game on July 13th. And now imitating Nomar in the batter's box.
Brocious kicks one as Garciaparra rolled one to third. And the error will keep this 3rd inning alive.
Prior to this error, Scott Brocious with the best fielding percentage of any 3rd baseman in the American League. That a short hop, but usually no problem for the sure-handed Brocious. Now look for Garciaparra to run off Clemens.
10th error of the season for Brocious, and now Troy O'Leary, who fouled out down the left field line his first time. Faces Clemens. A look at Garciaparra. As was plainly obvious when Offerman got his jump and stole second without a throw. You can run on Clemens. Therefore, Clemens keeps a close eye on Garciaparra, who's stolen 10. Go ahead, run on, 2 out here in the 3rd inning for the Red Sox. Strike 1.
A lot of times when base runners take their leads off of first, they don't really know where they are. You should, if you're in a stolen base situation, your lead should be straight off the bag. Watch Garciaparra, who gets back here instead of there. The reason for that, obviously, is very simple.
He's caught. Garciaparra caught stealing 1-3-6. Clemens kept throwing over, and Garciaparra's gone.
Slipping, trying to come back. Fine move by Roger Clemens. Garciaparra, dead duck at second.
Every kid growing up in Boston wants to play for the Red Sox and play in Fenway Park. So I kind of made it to Fenway Park a different way. You know, once you leave the park, oh, what do you do? Oh, I work in the school board. Get out of here. People like, you're the guy in the Green Monster? It's kind of a historic place in baseball, the Green Monster in Fenway Park. No one else has this view of the game, and it's just unbelievable.
Come on, let's go.
Camcorder, $400. 3-hour tape, $7. Extra battery, $25. Home movies with Hank Aaron and Willie Mays. Priceless. Use your MasterCard and you could win 4 tickets to a '99 World Series game and sit with baseball's legends. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard, sponsor of the Major League Baseball All-Century Team.
That's weird. Honey, this lipstick doesn't look like your shade. Oh, $300 for a massage? I don't remember a massage. Honey, get in here. I'm watching the videotape for my bachelor party.
Thick-headed? Sure. But nothing compared to the rich, thick, frosty mug taste of an A&W root beer. With A&W, it's good to be thick-headed.
Boy, was that embarrassing. Here, let me rewind it.
To be the best takes strength, speed, endurance. Now the best way to cure athlete's foot has it all. New Lamisil AT. Strength. Full prescription strength to stop the itching and burning. Speed. These take 4 weeks of treatment to kill the fungus. Only Lamisil AT cures athlete's foot with just 1 week's use. Endurance. A study showed most users were still athlete's foot free 3 whole months later. Get it all in new Lamisil AT. The best way to cure athlete's foot.
Join Jennifer Love Hewitt, Freddie Prinze Jr., Britney Spears, Jennifer Lopez, Sarah Michelle Gellar, and many of your favorite stars at the Teen Choice Awards Thursday, August 12th on Fox.
Hey, Posada.
Don Drysdale used to refer to this as a right-hander's balk move. It's when a right-handed pitcher puts weight on his left foot to nail the runner at first base. It's a balk move, but it's so fine, so very fine, that few umpires call it. And Roger Clemens has Garciaparra. Remember, we said the lead should be here and not back here, and Nomar slipping. The reason obviously it's the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. That's why you don't want to be outside the line when you're trying to steal second base. And even great base runners like Garciaparra, sometimes they lose that focus of where they are in the line.
0-1 the count on Posada as Brian Rose, who gave up 2 in the first inning, back even, a 2-2 game in the fourth.
To elaborate further on that, that's the type of lead that a base runner would take off of second base. And the reason for that, he takes that lead off of second because he wants to round third and try to score on a hit to the outfield. But going from first to second, you take that straight line.
Posada rips a base hit into right field, and the Yankees have their leadoff man on. They have done that in every inning. Well, the IRL is coming to Fox. Scott Goodyear and Eddie Cheever race into Dover Downs International Speedway for the MBNA Mid-Atlantic 200. Coverage begins tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern and noon Pacific. That's only on Fox. Talked about Drysdale. Didn't the Dodgers basically teach that move to every right-hander that came up through their organization?
That's right. Bill Singer had it in the late 60s, 70s. And Don Drysdale was a master at that, putting weight on the left leg, having that knee slightly bend, and that gives the runner at first base the illusion that the pitcher's going home. And he pops that ball to first base like Clemens did to get Garciaparra.
Brocious behind on the count 0-1. That's way foul and out of the park. 0-2 on Brocious. Scott Singled was out stealing to end the top of the second his first time. He's hit 11 home runs, driven in 46. Brian Rose again faced with the chore of trying to pitch around a leadoff hit. Drives him off the plate, 1-2. Yankees come in 62-39. Sent a message last weekend with that series against the Indians as to who should be considered dominant in the American League as Brocious pounds one into center. Back is Lewis to watch it. This ball is off the wall. Rounding third is Posada. The Red Sox get the ball back into the infield on a double by Brocious. Second and third, nobody out for the Yankees in the fourth.
A very shrewd play by Darren Lewis, the center fielder. He got Jorge Posada by decoying Posada. Watch him turn around at the last instant. This ball just missing, going to the right of that yellow line. But a very, very good play by Darren Lewis, turning around at the last instant and fielding the ball off the wall to hold Posada to third base. About a foot from going out of here. Anything on the right side of that yellow line is a home run.
So it's second and third, nobody out. And the number 8 hitter, Shane Spencer, at the plate, who takes ball 1.
Scott Brocious actually tried to call timeout before the pitch. Watch. Whoop, timeout. Nope, I think I'll swing instead. How about that?
The 1-0 pitch. Spencer bloops one into shallow center. That ball's going to drop for a hit. In to score Posada. They'll hold Brocious at third. He's disappointed he didn't come around to score, but didn't get a good read on it. And it's a 3-2 Yankee lead here in the fourth inning. Still nobody out.
So Jorge Posada does score. Brocious had to hold at third. Willie Randolph does not want him thrown out or even a close play at home with nobody out. How about Scott Brocious with the hand up, calling time. Here it is again. Whoop, timeout. Nope. Here comes the pitch too late. And he hammers one about 420 feet away. I think if he'd been ready for that pitch, what he would have done to it.
A double leads to an RBI bloop single by Spencer. And that leads to a visit on the mound from Joe Kerrigan, the pitching coach. Brian Rose in more trouble here in the 4th inning. 1st and 3rd, nobody out. Single, a double, an RBI single, and the number 9 hitter, Chad Curtis, is at the plate.
If you're the runner on at 3rd, Real Cormier up and throwing for the Sox. If you're the runner on at 3rd, this can be a dicey situation with nobody out. A ball hit to 3rd or back to the pitcher or to the first baseman, you have to determine immediately whether they can get a double play on the ball. If they can, if you think they can, you've got to break and go home. If not, stay at 3rd.
Ground ball up the middle, base hit by Curtis. In to score Brocious. It's 4-2 Yankees. 4 consecutive hits, and Cormier can't get ready quick enough in the Red Sox bullpen.
The New York Yankees have a relentless offense. From 1 through 9 as Chad Curtis drives in his 20th run of the year. Normally you have your outfielders hitting in the middle of the order. To show you how good the Yankees lineup is, they have their 2 of their 3 outfielders hitting 8th and 9th today. Rare.
And now Knobloch, who was 5 out of 6 last night, is 2 out of 2 today. 7 of 8 in this series. Bats with 2 on, and he pops up a bunt. Trying to bunt the runners up. Tim's groaning. We'll talk about this in a moment. Right now, a game break. Back to Keith in the Fox Network Center.
Indians, Joe, trailing 3-0. Man on for Robbie Alomar in the 3rd. If that wasn't a check swing, it certainly wasn't a textbook follow-through. Another home run against the White Sox. His 16th. There's a reason Cleveland has 36 come from behind wins. They're still trailing, though. Back to you, Joe.
All right, Keith, what do you think of that bunt?
It's not a good play. It's plain and simple. I mean, you're locked in. You're 7 for your last 8. And now you're going to bunt the runners over, bunting the bottom of the ball, and doing for the Red Sox what they haven't been able to do for themselves in this inning. Get an out. That is not a good play by Chuck Knobloch.
2 on, 1 out. Derek Jeter's 0 for 2. To 3rd. What a pickup by Valentin with a 5-3 double play. And you might want to remember that bunt by Knobloch. The Yankees just had the Red Sox on the ropes, so to speak. The bunt popped up. Good play by Valentin for the double play. And the Yankees only get 2. Lead by 2 after 3.5.
So I get this mail from Progressive saying they have a smart new way to shop for auto insurance.
Progressive, can I help you?
They give you their rates plus the rates of several other companies. I wonder whose rates are going to be lowest.
It looks like you could save over $200 if you went with...
What? You're an insurance company?
Hey, we know how hard it is to shop for auto insurance. A lot of times we're the lowest. Sometimes we're not.
That's not what I expected from an insurance company. And then he said, well, maybe you should.
Call 1-800-AUTO-PRO or your authorized independent agent.
Okay, now get the stick, okay? Get the stick, Ralph! Go! Get the stick! It's gotta be the puppy chow.
Purina's reformulated Puppy Chow. Now there's no better way to get your puppy off to a great start. New Purina Puppy Chow helps build strong bones and muscles and supports a healthy immune system. The building blocks your growing puppy needs for a long, strong, and exceptional life. Incredible puppy food, incredible puppies. Purina Puppy Chow brand.
Welcome to the Super Lottery Drawing. This week's jackpot is $15 million, so let's get to it. The first number is...
29.
The second number is...
15.
The third number...
7.
The fourth number...
It's time for E-Trade, the #1 place to invest online.
It's here. The GMC Summer Convoy. 2 million tons of professional-grade trucks, designed better than they need to be. Pickups, SUVs, and family vans. And on select 1999 models, some of the best values of the year. So come in now. This is one convoy you don't want passing you by. The GMC Summer Convoy. It's free only on Fox. Alanis Morissette, Kid Rock, Jewel, Metallica, Sheryl Crow, and more. Woodstock 99, Tuesday at 8, 7 Central on Fox.
The Rocket goes back to work. Roger Clemens, the Yankees have given him another 2-run lead. You start to look back, and you can understand the decision made along some lines by the Red Sox and Dan Duquette. The last 4 seasons for Clemens here in Boston was basically a .500 pitcher with an ERA of 3.77. The Red Sox made a decision. That decision, as it turned out, as we roll the tape forward, back-to-back Cy Young awards in a Toronto Blue Jay uniform was the wrong decision. You wonder how much Roger Clemens has left as you're looking at a pitcher who on Wednesday will turn 37 years old. Eventually it's going to slow down, and Clemens is not going to be the same guy you remember pitching for the Red Sox, coming up with an incredible year in 1984 when he had that big year in 86 with a 24-4 record. Up in 84, out of here in 96.
50 wins since leaving the Red Sox. The only guy with more wins, Pedro Martinez. And had the Red Sox signed Clemens, they would not have been able, from a financial standpoint, to sign Martinez.
Troy O'Leary the other way. Spencer a running catch, 1 out. Line drive and a nice running catch by Shane Spencer.
This ball did not have a lot of hang time. O'Leary with the rope to left center, but that ball tailing back to Spencer. And the Yankees record their first out. There's no way from a financial standpoint that the Red Sox, or any team for that matter, would have been able to handle Pedro Martinez and Roger Clemens on the same staff.
So that's part of the decision, something we touched on earlier. You have Pedro Martinez now as your ace. Mo Vaughn is gone. And Nomar Garciaparra is front and center as the fan favorite everyday position player here with the Red Sox. The two were together, and Red Sox fans will argue they should have stayed together. As Husky chopped one to third, that is a foul ball. Foul ball, and the count 0-2. Butch Husky started the year in Seattle. The Red Sox have been trying to get him for a while. They finally did, and we asked him if playing here at Fenway would change his swing.
Well, you can't change for any park, and I try real hard to try to hit the ball the other way. And if I can get the ball hitting the ball the other way and then turning on the ball naturally inside, so you know I'm not going to change my game plan just because I come to a different ballpark.
Hitting the other way for power too, Joe. Pardon me. That ball he hit to center field. Nice play by Chad Curtis. Chad tracking down that ball hit in the second inning. Butch Husky awfully strong.
The count.
You can almost see that left arm, how he's. That's a reminder to hitters. When you see that that left arm fidgeting like that, that's a reminder to keep the front shoulder in there.
As opposed to Joe Morgan, who used to do the back elbow.
Yeah.
This one, Husky tucks that left elbow in close to him. The 0-2 is in the dirt from Clemens. Red Sox were thinking of obtaining Husky over the offseason. As you watch Husky with that left elbow, they finally get him, and they add a little pop to their lineup. Both elbows flapping. A 1-2 pitch inside, 2-2.
Well, what a player he was. The MVP in 1975 and 76. Boy, what a player.
2 balls, 2 strikes now. It was 0-2. Clemens waiting on the mound, and Husky couldn't wait any longer.
It was Joe Morgan's hit. That was the difference in the 9th inning of the 1975 World Series here at Fenway after the dramatic moment the night before. Carlton Fisk, the home run off Pat Darcy.
Hard hit to third. Brocious got the big hop and throws him out. 2 gone.
Then Joe Morgan's hit off Jim Burton, the left-hander. Forever talked about here in the Boston area, the hub. Should Darrell Johnson have stuck with Jim Willoughby or bring in Jim Burton?
So with 2 out, nobody on, Jason Varitek, a .261 hitter, singled his first time. There's Jim Rice. Played here with the Red Sox between 74 and 89. Hit 382 home runs in his career. Mentioned the name Fisk, and there he is. 2 out, nobody on, and a ball up and away to Varitek. Varitek dealing with Clemens. Jason Varitek is slowly becoming a very highly thought of catcher in this league. Up on the count, 2-0. There aren't many switch hitting catchers with power. Big bodied catcher, at least durable enough to work 95 games coming into today's action. Good fastball from Clemens, 2-1. Joe Torre, Mel Stottlemyre relaxing over on the dugout bench. Joe Torre, in a way, has put up a fight to keep Andy Pettitte around. He's not been secretive about the fact that he wants to keep Andy in that Yankee uniform. And I don't blame him. He is a playoff and World Series tested left-hander. How many guys are available that fall into that category?
That's the sole reason that the Yankees got Jim Leyritz from the San Diego Padres postseason.
You look at the numbers for Pettitte this season, not that great. An ERA of over 5.5. Opponents hitting .300 against him, 7 and 8 with his record. But Andy Pettitte, between 96 and 98, had 55 wins, which were the most in the American League. He is having an off year, no doubt, but in my mind, this isn't the time to give up on a 27-year-old left-hander. The 2-2 pitch. Varitek down the left field line. Another hit for Jason Varitek. He will dig for second. Strong throw, but safe on a good slide. A double for Varitek.
You talked about Jason Varitek and the big body. Well, jumbo jets have landings that are not always smooth. Watch Varitek going into second base. That is a terrific slide, a nimble slide by Varitek for his second hit. A single in the second, and now a double with 2 out. Nice.
So with that, the tying run stands in. Darren Lewis, who has hit only 2 home runs this year, but could produce a run with a hit, fouls one away.
That is not a word that often describes catchers. Nimble.
No.
Maybe Pudge Rodriguez.
You have come a long way.
After the fact.
Yes. 0-1 the count. Runner at second, Varitek, 2 down. A good fastball, a little up. Maybe not the fastball. 1 ball, 1 strike. It was the fastball in our gun. Was only 86 miles per hour. Sounded good. 1-1. Varitek at second. Up again, 2 balls and a strike.
Sometimes the velocity of a pitch is determined by where the pitcher holds the ball in his fingers. The farther back it is in his fingers, the slower the pitch. And sometimes in your intensity, you try to throw the ball too hard, and you end up with an 86-mile-an-hour fastball instead of perhaps a 92 or 93-mile-an-hour fastball. The more toward the end of the fingers a pitch is thrown, the faster the pitch is, generally speaking.
Well, Well, this has been anything but a dominant start for Clemens here, returning in a Yankee uniform to Fenway Park. But the Yankees lead 4-2. We're only in the fourth. And now he falls farther behind Lewis with a count of 3-1. Saturday home run trot Nixon waits on deck. Lewis with a count of 3-1. To the third baseman, Brocious. Caught it on a line, and the inning is over. A 2-out double by Varitek. The Red Sox lead their third, and after 4-2 New York.
Change is taking place all over America. Big change. Because now you can call anyone across America for just 8 cents a minute on calls over 10 minutes. All day, every day. Just dial 1010-321, and you can talk as long as you want to the people you care about the most. You don't have to sign up. Just dial 1010-321, then 1 and the number. It's that simple. 8 cents a minute on calls over 10 minutes, day or night with 1010-321.
At age 21, he could throw a baseball 100 miles an hour. He could hit for power. He could run the bases. Major League scouts called him a future Hall of Famer. They just never expected it would be for football.
Expect more from an original. Original Coors. Brewed a mile high.
Original Coors. Well, what'd you expect me to drink?
We've got a couple nice SUVs, a new convertible, some minivans. The crooks hide the cars behind boxes and smuggle them out of the country. You can be out here all day and not find one. One day we got 17. By making it hard for car thieves to do business, we're making it cheaper for you to do business with us. You're in good hands with Allstate. Mine.
Select road. Validating tires.
What kind of road can you drive on with BF Goodrich tires?
Approved. Enjoy.
Any road you choose. BF Goodrich tires. Take control.
Fox Sports News supports the right of everyone everywhere to know everything they need to know about their team so they can intimidate other people with their astute grasp of sports-related minutia. Thank you very much.
Charles River, State House in the background as the Yankees lead 4-2. We move to the 5th inning. Here at historic Fenway Park. Put together in 1912. These Red Sox, the organization hopes they will be in a new ballpark in 2003. O'Neill leads it off and takes a ball. Paul O'Neill homered his first time, walked and stole a base in the 3rd, and he leads it off in the 5th. Yankees have put their leadoff man on in every inning. Two balls, no strikes.
Roger Clemens can pitch up in the strike zone. Brian Rose can't. It's a danger sign. 2 high fastballs missed to Paul O'Neill.
Now missing low. It's 3-0. O'Neill leading off, swinging on 3-0, and he lines a single into center. So the Yankees put their leadoff man on yet again. Let's go back to the Fox Television Center and again check in for a game break with Keith Olbermann.
Joe, why did the Indians not want to send Richie Sexson to Tampa Bay as part of a deal for Roberto Hernandez? This might give you an answer. 3-run homer is 21st, 4 in 4 games, and the Indians have gone from down 3-0 to up 5-3, and they have 2 on, 2 out in the 4th. Joe?
All right, Keith. I know that the White Sox, I know for a fact, had a chance to trade Navarro earlier this season. Elected to hang on to him. Didn't get the right deal. Maybe thought if he continued to pitch the way he was early in the year, this time of year as the trading deadline approached, they could get even more for him. They might be stuck with him. Williams into left field. Well hit. O'Leary can't get there off the scoreboard. O'Neill will dig for third. They'll hold him there on a double by Williams. Second and third, nobody out.
The reason the center fielder comes over to back up the left fielder on a play like this, they cross the left fielder with the better angle to make the play. But when the ball caromed off the scoreboard, it hit O'Leary. And they recovered quickly enough. Almost came up and hit him right in the left side of the face. Bang. Boy, Troy, now the ball just dies there, and they do hold O'Neill to third base, but that's going to be all for Brian Rose.
Well, Rose exits from North Dartmouth, Mass. He is gone. We're only in the 5th inning. Yankees lead by a couple, have second and third, nobody out. Real Cormier coming in.
The inspiration for the new LeSabre didn't just come from a research center or design facility. It also came from your family. Introducing the all-new 2000 LeSabre, re-engineered with more safety features than any other car in its class. The new 2000 LeSabre by Buick.
We're being followed.
Impossible.
We're virtually invisible.
Yeah, virtually.
That's pretty thick-headed. But nothing compared to the rich, thick, frosty mug taste of an A&W root beer. With A&W, it's good to be thick-headed.
Hold on to your hats. I'm going to shake them.
Chuck, it's Rennie. I'm stuck. Call me back.
Rennie, we're doing shadow puppets. Call me.
Chuck!
Rennie.
Call me back.
You just left me a message. I'm not going to touch my phone. Call me.
Tired of phone tag? Nextel's the only national wireless carrier with Direct Connect, a digital two-way radio feature. So, instead of reaching Chuck's voicemail, you can actually reach Chuck. Nextel, how business gets done.
Get ready for another record-breaking year. Major League Baseball invites you to bring it home. Now available on home video, it's Major League Baseball Generations of Heroes. Ryan and Clemens, Ruth and McGuire, Aaron and Griffey Jr. Baseball's greatest legends and today's superstars matched up in one unforgettable video.
Records are made to be broken.
Major League Baseball Generations of Heroes. Available at all Suncoast locations.
Congratulations to Mad TV, nominated for 2 Emmy Awards.
Left down the lobster.
Mad TV, late night tonight on Fox.
When the ball caromed off the left field fence and hit Troy O'Leary, there is a hollow sound. Listen. Why is it hollow? We'll explain after this at bat as Curt Schilling takes us behind that scoreboard during the All-Star break.
Well, what's Curt doing here?
Pitching.
Second and third, nobody out. Real Cormier deals to the left-hander Tino Martinez, fires a strike. Curt Schilling was here at the All-Star game. As you look at the numbers for Cormier with his video camera, he'll take us behind that scoreboard in a moment. ERA of 4.24. He had Tommy John surgery back in 1997. Talked to him and he said it took him over a year to feel right on the mound again. And it's important to bring up because that is likely the surgery facing the Red Sox closer Tom Gordon. As a pitch misses up and in from Cormier, 1 ball, 1 strike. Tom Gordon, the last pitch on June 11. Just not felt right. May have injured himself last November when he was pitching over in Japan with a select group of all-stars from Major League Baseball, as Martinez takes it up and in from Cormier. The count 2-1. Dan Duquette still on the phone, and one of the reasons why is because of the man we're talking about, Tom Gordon. It's tough to lose your closer, especially a guy as dominant as Gordon, who saved 54 consecutive games when he had the opportunity. He is likely lost for the season. Second and third, nobody out, and an RBI ground out for Tino Martinez. That makes the score 5-2 Yankees here in the 5th inning, as Tino Martinez just put the bat on the ball and drove home Paul O'Neill.
Here's Curt Schilling narrating his home video on July 13th with his son.
A real job.
Come on in.
Here. The inside. Monster. I gotta remember where I signed this thing at.
I actually saw you.
Oh, there it is.
Curt Schilling signing that wall when he was here during interleague play while with the Phillies. As Jorge Posada takes a strike over the inside corner. Posada has a runner at third, 1 out. The Yankees lead by 3. The infield is in for the Red Sox.
Tino Martinez accomplishing 2 things, not only scoring the run and driving in a run, but moving Bernie Williams to third base.
The 0-1 from Cormier is hit hard to third. Valentin tried to tag Williams and still had plenty of time to get Posada at first. 2 down. For a game break, let's go back to Keith Olbermann in the Fox Network Center. You're busy.
Joe, I'm busy because the Indians are terrifying. Robbie Alomar already had a 2-run homer. Now he has a 3-run homer. 17 on the year, 17 against the White Sox lifetime. Jamie Navarro has been adios by the Indians. Earl Weaver opens 2 3-run homers in the inning.
All right, Keith, thank you. Runner at third, 2 out here. Good play by Valentin.
Watch Valentin linger at third base. Finds it no hurry with a good throwing arm to get Posada. Almost had a rare double play. Tag out, force out.
Now runner at third, 2 down, and Brocious took it low. One thing that points out is that Valentin is a smart third baseman. He knew exactly who was running before that ball was hit and knew that he had plenty of time to make that attempt at getting Williams. Brocious trying to drive home a run with 2 out. 5-2 Yankees. That caught the corner. 1 ball, 1 strike. Spencer waiting on deck. It would be a minor victory for the Red Sox if the Yankees get only 1 here in this 5th inning. Cormier came in second and third, nobody out. Got the ground out from Martinez. Ground out from Posada did not bring home the run. And now with 2 outs, the 1-1 pitch to Brocious. Strike 2.
That's an inning after the Yankees with 2 runs in the 4th. Had runners on at first and second and nobody out, scored no more. And then second and third, as you said, with nobody out here, played at only 1. Chance to put the Red Sox away, but they've yet to do it.
Now the count 1-2. Brocious has singled and doubled here this afternoon. Fastball up and in. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Boston Red Sox made a roster move today. Keep checking on Dan Duquette as we go along here this afternoon. I have a feeling we will see him in that pose all afternoon. 9 minutes after 3. He's been on that phone since 9 minutes after 1. Brocious pops it up. Tell you the roster move when we come back as Darren Lewis puts it away. Heck, I'll tell you now, Jin Ho Cho has been optioned out to AAA Pawtucket. And a right-hander, Jared Fernandez, a knuckleballer, is out in that Red Sox bullpen if they need him. Another call for Dan Duquette. Another half inning gone. 5-2 New York.
Hey, Jeff. Now listen, I got it right here, buddy. It's icy cold and tasting great. Now come on, Jeff. You tell me, is there anybody in this world who deserves this here Pepsi more than you?
See you later, Jeff.
Now that's what I call motivation.
I don't know where she came from.
Don't worry, Jeff. There's always Daytona.
So what you're saying is you can't change your oil every 3,000 miles because you're too busy. So you push it. Just like your cheap brother-in-law at one of those all-you-can-eats. Hey, it's your car. You want to learn the hard way? Be my guest. This is reformulated Quaker State. Protection beyond 3,000 miles under any driving conditions. You ought to change your oil on time, but if you can't, can you say insurance? Quaker State. It's been tested. It works. What more do you need to know?
What is the value of victory? What makes success so sweet? At American General, we help over 12 million people every day live the lives they've imagined. With retirement services, life insurance, consumer loans, and whether they have big dreams or little dreams, the real victory is seeing their dreams come true. American General Financial Group. Live the life you've imagined.
For anyone who's been terrorized by the school bully,
Oh, my God! You killed Kenny!
it's time to get real. Premiering Wednesday, September 8th.
Fox Saturday Baseball is brought to you by Pepsi, the joy of cola. By Quaker State, for protection beyond 3,000 miles under any driving conditions. By American General Financial Group, live the life you've imagined. And by MasterCard, proud sponsor of the Major League Baseball All-Century Team.
Welcome back to Boston. Pleasant day here in the Fens as you look at George Steinbrenner's got New York on the glasses, got New York on the shirt. There you go. Very nice.
That's kind of, well, that's all right. Joining the throngs here from New York.
Yeah, and I don't think it's any surprise with the trading deadline coming tonight at midnight. He is here, and as always, very active as the Yankees look at a number of possibilities. They have evidently, if you agree with newspaper reports or believe them, cooled on the idea of trading Pettit. Some local cellular company is loving this telecast here today. No 0-1 pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike. They've evidently cooled on the idea of trading Pettit. Hottest name involved with Pettit, the Philadelphia Phillies. Even the San Francisco Giants, a rumor of Sean Estes for Pettit. 2 left-handers who are pitching below expectations this year. Certainly intriguing with Chuck Finley, if for no other reason than to play defense. You make a trade to play defense and keep him away from the Indians, who are still searching for a left-hander to help out that rotation, and a guy who is 16-9 lifetime against the Yankees. But to me, if it cost you Ramiro Mendoza, who's such a big part of that bullpen, I wouldn't play defense just to get Finley and give up on Mendoza. Clemens misses high, and they count 1-2.
I agree with you. Now, if you're talking about Andy Pettit and somebody else, then it's a different situation. But the Anaheim Angels will not go for that. New York Post reporting yesterday that Ryan Bradley, a minor league right-hander, and Ramiro Mendoza were the 2 names talked about for Chuck Finley. That's too much in my book.
Well, now the count full, 3-2 on Trot Nixon with Offerman and Valentin to follow, and the Red Sox batting here in the 5th, down by 3.
Because if you make that deal, then what are you going to do in those very important innings in postseason play when Mendoza can come in? You put Andy Pettit in the bullpen, then you're locked in with 6 starters, and that's no good.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Nixon stays alive. You know, you get past Mariano Rivera and Ramiro Mendoza, and this is an average bullpen for the Yankees. Stanton has been good. Watson has shown a little bit lately. Grimsley's been good from the start, but but not the type of bullpen you would find with the Mets. They are deep, and they are good out in their bullpen over at Shea.
The key for the Yankees could be the return of Jeff Nelson, who will have his first rehab appearance on Monday, we understand.
A leadoff walk. Clemens let him get away, and Posada couldn't handle that riding fastball. Third walk handed out by Clemens.
This pitch above eye high.
Number 30, the second baseman.
Ball 4 with an exclamation point as we look at today's GMC Trucks game summary. Knobloch and O'Neill went deep in the first inning. Knobloch led off as he did last night with a home run. Trot Nixon homered in the third inning. He just walked. The Yankees this series 18 runs on 28 hits. They scored 13 last night. And the numbers for Clemens, who just walked his third of the afternoon. Here's Offerman, and there's ball 1. Offerman has walked twice in a visit from Posada to talk to Clemens. Joe Torre and Mel Stottlemyre have answered questions about Clemens since the start. Got to the point at Yankee Stadium where he was booed in his home ballpark, and then came up with a strong start his last time out against Cleveland. 7 innings, 1 run, 5 hits, struck out 6. But not all that sharp here this afternoon as he catches a strike on Offerman 1-1.
Joe, in my view, his last start, Roger Clemens' last start against the Indians, was his best start all year, even though he did throw a complete game shutout against the Detroit Tigers. But obviously the Cleveland Indians a different team than the Detroit Tigers.
A 1-1. Offerman late with that swing. Strike 2. Offerman over the offseason signing a 4-year $26 million contract. That contract upset a lot of general managers around baseball, feeling that the Red Sox overpaid to get Offerman. And as you know, let Mo Vaughn walk away to the Anaheim Angels. Nice walk when you get that kind of a contract at the end of your walk, like Vaughn got from Anaheim.
You run.
1 on, nobody out. Offerman stays alive. Charts that pitching coach, a manager, an infield outfield defense coach will check during the course of a game. Tendencies with Offerman. Batting with the right side of the infield open as they hold against Nixon, the 1-2 pitch. Bounces in there, and Nixon down to second. That takes the double play away. Another wild pitch. The second of the day. It'll go in the books, and of course ball 4 to Nixon was a wild pitch that got away to start this inning.
This is a splitter, a very difficult play for Posada. Now Posada has improved over the last month. He does have 11 pass balls. The only team with more pass balls than the Yankees, Boston Red Sox. Jason Varitek with 16, but 14 of those come from the knuckleballer Tim Wakefield.
2 balls, 2 strikes, runner at second, nobody out. And now 3-2. Look at the career of Roger Clemens, 5-time Cy Young Award winner. First in that category, and only. 1986 American League MVP. Over 3,200 strikeouts as Offerman hangs in there. 6 ERA titles, which is second all time. 2 different times he has struck out as many as 20 in a game. And to back up the Cy Young list, Maddox and Carlton each with 4. Clemens with 5, and it's an old line, but I'll use it anyway. It's never stopped me. You wonder how many Roger Clemens awards Cy Young might have won.
What may be more impressive than that, Sandy Koufax winning 3 Cy Youngs when only 1 Cy Young was given.
Joe Torre watching as Clemens has run the count full on Offerman, 3-2. And it's been a good at bat for Jose as he's fouled off a few to put himself in a spot where he ought to get a pitch to hit. Clemens trying to pitch around a leadoff walk. Offerman up the middle of base hit. Nixon will come around to score. And it's a 2-run game. 5-3 here in the 5th. And now Mel Stottlemyre will visit Clemens as action starts for the Yankees out in their bullpen.
Looks like Jason Grimsley is up and throwing in the Yankee bullpen. How about the much maligned Jose Offerman? A great at bat. I mean, terrific at bat. He scored a run today. He's been on base 3 times. He has driven in a run. And remember, back in the 3rd inning, he saved a run on that play he made against Bernie Williams with 2 outs and Paul O'Neill on at second base. So he has a run, an RBI, and a save in 1 game.
And maybe a fire has been lit as he's been put on the bench since Sunday. Take a look at the MasterCard All-Century team. Here are the current voting totals. Right now, Nolan Ryan leads the way. The heels of his induction into Cooperstown. Sandy Koufax, number 2. Cy Young. Bob Gibson. Roger Clemens, number 5 on the list. And Walter Johnson, number 6.
Funny about that wild pitch to Posada and how the little things in baseball never show up the next day. But had Clemens not thrown that wild pitch, allowing Nixon to go to second, Knobloch could have been closer to second base and may have had a play on the ball hit by Offerman to at least get 1.
Valentin now grounds a double play ball to short. The flip for the out over to first. Got it easily. 6-4-3. And the bases are empty here in the 5th inning.
Mel Stottlemyre barely had time to sit down in the dugout when Roger Clemens gets 2 for the price of 1. 1 pitch, 2 outs. Nicely turned by Jeter and Knobloch.
And it's nice to see Knobloch cut it loose out at second base. Had difficulty throwing the ball over to first base. He came across a little sidearm and burned it over to Tino Martinez. Now Dahlbach fouls one away, strike 1. Dahlbach hitting .310. Struck out, grounded out. Pride of Belleville, Illinois. They have a big leaguer with the Red Sox, and that's a strike over the outside corner, 0-2.
What Red Sox fans are dreaming right now is Dahlbach can somehow get on, and Garciaparra can pop one to tie this game up. The faithful here at Fenway will come unglued.
95-mile-per-hour heater, and that scenario won't happen as Dahlbach strikes out for the 2nd time today. Red Sox get a run, trail by 2 after 5.
It's here. The GMC Summer Convoy. 2 million tons of professional-grade trucks, designed better than they need to be. Pickups, SUVs, and family vans. And on select 1999 models, some of the best values of the year. So come in now. This is one convoy you don't want passing you by. The GMC Summer Convoy.
Okay, now get the stick, okay? Get the stick, Ralph! Go! Get the stick! It's gotta be the puppy chow.
Purina's reformulated Puppy Chow. Now there's no better way to get your puppy off to a great start. New Purina Puppy Chow helps build strong bones and muscles and supports a healthy immune system. The building blocks your growing puppy needs for a long, strong, and exceptional life. Incredible puppy food, incredible puppies. Purina Puppy Chow brand.
We're being followed. Impossible.
We're virtually invisible.
Yeah, virtually.
That's pretty thick-headed. But nothing compared to the rich, thick, frosty mug taste of an A&W root beer. With A&W, it's good to be thick-headed.
Hold on to your hats. I'm going to shake them.
Two of the NL's best teams square off as Barry Bonds and the Giants battle Chipper Jones and the Braves. Fox Saturday Baseball coverage begins next week within the zone at 12:30 Eastern.
Well, somebody go tell Dan Duquette what the score is of this game. He has been on the phone nonstop for over 2 hours trying to work a deal. He has told Mike Weissman, our producer, that if a trade should happen before we go off the air, he will announce that trade right here on our air.
He vowed to do that.
Leading it off is Shane Spencer. He takes a ball outside. Pitching, pitching, pitching. Who's got pitching? Dan Duquette looking for it either in the rotation or in the bullpen. Jeff Fassero is another name that could pop up here with the Red Sox. And there's a history with Duquette and Joe Kerrigan, both with Montreal when Jeff Fassero had his big years with the Expos. He was really pitching poorly at the beginning of the year, but he's picked it up a little lately. And may or may not end up here with the Red Sox. A lot will happen before midnight tonight, you would think. At least there's been a lot of buildup. You can watch the transaction lists the rest of the day, and I'm sure as we get into tonight, it will be busy. Spencer taps one foul. The count 1-2.
Because the Red Sox play at Fenway Park, the two things that have been lacking throughout their history: left-handed starters and speed. When you think of speed, very few runners come to mind. Tommy Harper, Louis Aparicio, and left-handed pitching. The most recent guy who did a terrific job here was Bill Lee.
Spencer hits it foul outside third. They don't pay that guy enough down there to stand in front of that thing.
No. That's the Bob Uecker way to catch the knuckleball. Wait till it stops rolling and pick it up.
They try to get in front of that.
Don't want to do that. Side saddle.
Thankfully. So still a 1-2 count on Spencer. This game dragging along here in the middle inning. 6th inning, 5-3 Yankees out in front. And a ball from Cormier, 2-2. On deck, the number 9 hitter Curtis, who's made a good running catch in the outfield and driven in a run with a single. Spencer lines one into center, a leadoff hit. The Yankees are tying a record. They put their leadoff man on in every inning to this point. We'll talk about what happens next Saturday. The NFL on Fox heads down under to Sydney, Australia, where Terry, Howie, JB, and Chris watch the defending Super Bowl champion Denver Broncos with Bubby Brister at quarterback taking on the San Diego Chargers. Don't miss American Bowl 99 live next Saturday at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific, right here on Fox.
What will John Elway do with his time this year?
Make commercials, evidently.
Yeah.
Can't get away from it. One on, nobody out. And a ground ball up the middle, another hit. The Yankees have done nothing but hit here this afternoon, but they've scored only 5 times. And Cormier gives up back-to-back singles to Spencer and Curtis.
For the Yankees, this is a continuation of last night's game, a game in which they scored 13 runs, had 16 hits. Today they had 5 runs and 14 hits.
Well, here's Knobloch again. Runners at first and second, nobody out. He went up there and tried to bunt the runners up his last time up. Was that his design, or do you think that was called by Joe Torre?
I do not think Joe Torre called it. I think Chuck did it, and I thought it was a bad play. Whoever called it. Chuck 7 for 8 at the time. in the last 24 hours. And what he did with that bunt was put a tourniquet on further Yankees runs being scored.
Spencer, the runner at second. Curtis on at first with nobody out. And a good fastball for a strike.
First and second the last time up, nobody out against Brian Rose. Popped it up. Valentin made the catch. Then Derek Jeter grounded to a double play.
And what looked like a break it wide open inning became just a 2-run inning. The Yankees got a run in the 5th. They lead it 5-3 now and have 2 on, nobody out. Into left field. Back is O'Leary. In front of the board. Tagging is Spencer, but he'll hold at second, 1 away. Well, Chuck Knobloch's got that Fenway swing down. He's trying to pop him up. He's gotten 2 over the wall in this series. 1 off that wall, and this one fell short.
You can see from that swing right there, that's when guys like Rico Petrocelli, what a great guy and a great player for the Red Sox for a long time, permanently had his right shoulder 6 inches lower than his left shoulder. He walks around like this now. Rico.
It worked good in the booth. 2 on, 1 out.
You get the idea. The right shoulder about 6 inches below the left shoulder.
Stay right there. They're going to show us in a moment.
That Fenway Park swing.
Jeter pops one into center field. Darren Lewis hardly had to move. 2 out. Let's see the shoulder.
Here it is right here. Rico walking around Boston now like this. I know Rico very well, and I know Rico's laughing about that because he had the perfect Fenway swing. That was it right there. Here, wait. There it is. Right here. Everything going up. Rico, a manager for a while in the Red Sox organization. What a terrific guy and a terrific player for the Sox for so many years.
You know, when you do that, I think of a more recent player to play with the Red Sox, Mo Vaughn. He did it the other way, but he had a left field swing. Even though he was a left-handed batter, he got under the ball and popped it up the opposite way, and that was a big reason for his success here at Fenway. Uh-oh. Phone must be recharging right now. 2 on, 2 out. Cormier dealing with O'Neill. We showed Dan Duquette. We have quite a bit here this afternoon. Very involved with the dealings with regard to Mo Vaughn. There's that swing into left.
That was it.
Didn't get up over the wall, but there's one of those moon shots with that uppercut swing. 95 American League MVP, RBI leader that year. 230 home runs for the Red Sox, which is 5th all-time in franchise history. Played here from 91 to 98. Now he's an Anaheim Angel. 2 on, 2 out, and a 2-0 count on O'Neill. Cormier trying to get into and then out of trouble in the 6th inning. Got it past O'Neill.
Good tight fastball and on the hands of Paul O'Neill. Cause for concern in this game with the Yankees. They have had 2 on and nobody out the last 3 innings and scored 1 run.
This is one of those games where all we've done is watch Yankees run around the bases, and you look at the scoreboard and see it's a 2-run game. It's surprising. As O'Neill grounds to short, Garciaparra feeds Offerman, who just did beat Curtis to the bag, and the inning is over. So the Yankees put 2 on again. Nobody out. Cormier got around it. Bottom of the 6th inning. Red Sox bat down by 2.
Honey?
Hi, baby.
Oh, hi, Daddy.
There's ordinary beer. Then there's the Michelob Light. Beer or Michelob?
Nancy always wanted a Red Sea Emperor.
Make sure you get him into a tank within an hour.
No problem.
Well, a lot can happen in an hour. The other driver's insurance company, Progressive, actually showed up.
What's with the fish? I don't normally do this, but it looks like you need a ride.
Yeah, I never expected this. Maybe I should give him a call. And maybe next time I'll just get her a plane.
Call 1-800-AUTO-PRO or your authorized independent agent.
The garage is on the wrong side.
We got a problem on 36.
Mike, get over here. Greg, get down. Jim, I need that cement truck.
Only the Nextel Business Network connects local companies with our digital two-way radio feature. So you can reach who you need faster.
Oh, it's perfect.
Now it's perfect.
Greg, we have a problem.
Nextel, how business gets done.
Ball!
Still trying to make the major leagues? Log on to MajorLeagueBaseball.com to reach the major leagues every day. Video highlights on demand, live game audio. Make the moves in MLB's official online fantasy game. Grab the latest gear at the official store. MajorLeagueBaseball.com lets you be a part of the major leagues, and it may even help your game.
Roger Clemens got through 5. He now works in the 6th inning. 5-3, the Yankees out in front. We were talking about football last half inning. All of us at Fox want to send get well wishes. One of the best directors ever, Sandy Grossman, is watching in Florida. Little surgery. And is grading our telecast from the Sunshine State. Nomar Garciaparra rips it into left. Good start for the Red Sox. A leadoff single to start the 6th inning. And just like that, despite all those Yankee base runners, the tying run will come to the plate.
Red Sox giving the Yankees some of their own medicine. They have the leadoff batter on base here in the 6th inning.
Pitch was up. Nomar jumped on it. Leadoff single. And now with action starting for the Yankees out in their bullpen again. You know that Clemens would like to get through the inning and then maybe be relieved. It would be a little more difficult, and now we might see it if Clemens is yanked out of an inning mid-inning here at Fenway if he can't finish the 6th.
Right. Usually when Joe Torre comes out there, that's the case. Yep.
About 50-50. A lot of Yankee fans here at Fenway. The reaction just not as strong from the start of the day as we might have expected. So Clemens relieved here in the 6th inning. Yankees up by 2.
Get the stick, rascal! It's gotta be the puppy chow.
We recently reformulated Purina Puppy Chow to help provide the building blocks growing puppies need for a long, strong, and exceptional life. Purina Puppy Chow brand.
Select road. Validating tires.
With BF Goodrich tires, it's any road you choose. BF Goodrich tires. Take control.
So I get this mail from Progressive saying they have a smart new way to shop for auto insurance.
Progressive, can I help you?
They give you their rates plus the rates of several other companies. I wonder whose rates are going to be lowest.
It looks like you could save over $200 if you went with...
What? You're an insurance company?
Hey, we know how hard it is to shop for auto insurance. A lot of times we're the lowest. Sometimes we're not.
That's not what I expected from an insurance company. And then he said, well, maybe you should.
Call 1-800-AUTO-PRO or your authorized independent agent.
Hey, Jeff. Now listen, I got it right here, buddy. It's icy cold and tasting great. Now come on, Jeff, you tell me, is there anybody in this world who deserves this here Pepsi more than you?
Hi, Jeff.
See you later, Jeff.
Now that's what I call motivation.
I don't know where she came from.
Don't worry, Jeff. There's always Daytona.
Mr. Duffy, I've been here for over a year now, and I'd like to talk about a raise. As you know, I've been coming in every weekend without complaint, and I have an MBA.
I like
and,
jujubes. The Reds and the Oranges the best. They are like the king and queen of jujube land. The green and the yellow, they're peasants. One day, we're gonna have a jujube revolution.
So, what do you think?
Jujube?
It's time for E-Trade, the #1 place to invest online.
More or less a blah day for Roger Clemens coming back. You know, the emotions were there, but the numbers really aren't that great. 5+ innings, 3 runs on 5 hits. Struck out only 2. He walked more than he struck out. He can only get the win if he gets a decision. He leaves with a man at first and gives way to the right-hander, Jason Grimsley, who's been a revelation for the Yankees out of their bullpen.
He's the best guy other than Mendoza out of the bullpen to get a ground ball, and that's what Joe Torre's looking for here.
Instead, he gets a line drive into center. Garciaparra will hold at second. And it's 2 on with nobody out. The tying runs aboard for the Red Sox.
Jason Grimsley, his 40th appearance of the year. He throws a very, very good sinker. Wildness early in his career with the Philadelphia Phillies. And the 31-year-old right-hander has corralled things for the most part this year. But again, looking for the ground ball.
If you're looking for a bunt here, you can forget it.
Forget about it.
Butch Husky, 2 on, nobody out. Tying runs aboard. Husky 0 for 2. Good fastball in for a strike. Garciaparra led off with a single. End of the day for Clemens. Now a hit by the left-handed hitting O'Leary. Husky hit a deep fly to center that was caught by Curtis in the second. He grounded out in the 4th. To the left side, through into left field. They will hold Garciaparra at third, and the bases are loaded.
This is a ball that Scott Brocious normally will come up with. It goes under his glove, a little bit out of his reach. Had a lot of top spin on it. But Yankee fans have seen Scott make that play often. It looked like something was wrong with his lower back when he bent down for that ball. And in between hop, skipping under the glove.
So they hit 3 consecutive singles. Clemens has been relieved, and now with the bases loaded, nobody out, Varitek, who is 2 out of 2 today. A single, a double. Grounds one up the middle. Diving stop Jeter for the out. A run scores, but it's first and third, 1 away, and that saved a run, and who knows how many more on the diving play by Jeter to his left.
Watch the extension of Derek Jeter on this play. He smothers the ball, does not catch it cleanly, but has the presence of mind to flip it on his belly to Chuck Knobloch. Wow. Some play. Watch the extension.
And you're right, what you just said makes it even more impressive. He smothered it. He didn't really catch it.
No.
But kept it right there and picked it up and flipped for the forced out at second. Now the tying run 90 feet away. Darren Lewis at the plate. First and third, 1 out. 5-4 Yankees in the 6th. Ball 1. Grimsley on in relief of Clemens. Red Sox hitting .500 with runners in scoring position. The Yankees have missed chances all day. All of a sudden, it's a 1-run game. Back up the middle. Jeter might turn it. 6-3 double play, and what a job by Grimsley. And the Yankee fans applaud here at Fenway. So now a missed chance for the Red Sox. Loaded them up with nobody out. Get only one. Trail by one after 6.
You're watching Fox Saturday Baseball Game of the Week.
9 o'clock Sunday night on Fox 51.
We brought you Dodge Caravan, the most innovative minivan in history, the best-selling minivan in history, and the most copied minivan in history. Now here's what's new from the new Dodge. The Dodge Summer Clearance with a $1,000 cash allowance on Caravan that lowers your price to just $17,785. Or buy Caravan with low 1.9 financing. What's new from the new Dodge? Just catch the Dodge Summer Clearance.
There are a whole lot of cereals that don't have a whole lot of whole grain. Of these leading cereals, only one is made with 100% whole grain, only Wheaties. So only Wheaties gives you 100% whole grain nutrition. Maybe that's why only Wheaties has Tiger Woods.
Whole grain makes the difference.
And 100% whole grain makes it Wheaties.
Here's my idea. Make my boys the Best Buy boys because they've grown up on Best Buy. When he wakes up, it's, do I get computer time? It's amazing what they're learning. They're glued to the computer. They love to watch themselves on TV. They just are fascinated by anything that has a button on it or a dial. Technology is really a part of our daily lives.
Bringing technology home, one family at a time. Best Buy.
Now that's a great idea.
How do you suggest we handle this claim?
It's a large claim, a serious auto accident. We could try to deny it or delay, see if they'll crack.
Who's the lawyer representing the victim?
Joe Bornstein.
Joe Bornstein? Let's settle this one.
The insurance companies know the name, Joe Bornstein. If you've been injured in an auto accident, tell them you mean business. Call the law offices of Joe Bornstein. 1-800-WIN-WIN-1. Right now.
Real Cormier heads back to the hill. We move into the 7th inning. Well, now a missed opportunity on the other side as the Red Sox had the bases loaded with nobody out. To show you the value of Jeter and how there's more than one way to help your team win. Jeter is the only guy hitless in this Yankee lineup, but his defensive stop on that ball up the middle to get the force out at second on a ball hit by Veritek may have saved the Yankee lead.
Saved 2 runs because right after that, Darren Lewis grounds into a double play. If Derek Jeter doesn't get to that ball, then you've got runners on at first and third and nobody out. And then the Darren Lewis double play grounder, a case could be made that the Red Sox take the lead because you know the Yankees would be back. No way you play in the 6th inning. So that play was worth 2 runs. Saved the Yankees 2 runs.
The Yankees still lead by 1. 7th inning now, and Bernie Williams, Tino Martinez, and Jorge Posada will bat against Real Cormier, who's done a nice job since entering in the 5th inning for Brian Rose. No balls, 2 strikes. Williams with a double, a single today. He's also struck out Derek Lowe. Sinker ball artist getting ready for the Red Sox out in their bullpen. Red Sox hanging in this one, down by 1 in the 7th, and Bernie Williams tries to extend this string. The Yankees have put their leadoff man on in every inning. 1-2. Talked about it at the All-Star game. Bernie Williams very nearly became a Boston Red Sox center fielder. His past off-season was a free agent, elected to come back to the Bronx instead of here to Boston. The shot of Dan Duquette. 2-2. Cormier ready. There's 2-2 to Williams leading off. Popped up on the infield. Garciaparra waits for it. Drifting one away. Leadoff man is gone for the first time. Tuesday, the wildest fans and the hottest bands come together for the world's biggest live music festival. Don't miss today's favorite performers as they rock the country in 2 hours of the best of Woodstock 1999. Tuesday, 8 Eastern, 7 Central on Fox. The best of Woodstock Tuesday night. A lot to leave out of those tapes. With 1 out, nobody on, Tino Martinez stands in. Martinez waits. Takes on 30th anniversary of Woodstock, and while there was some great music, which we will show you on Tuesday night, there are also some scary moments for people involved in Rome, New York. 1 ball, no strikes. 1 out, nobody on. And Anthony's 1-1. Posada next. Yankees cannot feel good about this 1-run 7th inning lead.
We were kidding between innings, and if this were a football game, the Yankees would have 480 total yards, the Red Sox about 190, and it would be a 20-17 game. Squandered opportunities as the Yankees have gone 20-20 but can't punch it in.
Bill Parcells and Pete Carroll on your screen in a split screen.
A lot of third down conversions, but again, no scoring.
And our segue, the American Bowl live from Australia next Saturday, 9 Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific time. Denver Broncos and the San Diego Chargers. Be interesting to watch those quarterbacks. Jim Harbaugh's first year with San Diego. They've signed Eric Kramer, who was let go by the Bears. And Craig Wheelahan, they lost Ryan Leaf to injury, and Bubby Brister starts at quarterback for the world champs. Martinez fouls it back here. Full count, 3-2. A lot of people wonder if this will be the year when people really truly realize how valuable John Elway has been to that Denver team, or if it is so well coached by Mike Shanahan that you can plug another quarterback in there and they still win. Martinez pops it up straight up on the infield. Another one for Garciaparra. 2 up, 2 pop-ups, 2 up. Posada will bat with the bases empty as Real Cormier turns in a couple of good innings here this afternoon.
4 of the last Yankee outs have been lazy fly balls and pop outs, and usually those are the type of outs that are made in a short turnaround. The latter innings of a day game after a night game, when the regular players, guys like Tino Martinez, Derek Jeter, Chuck Knobloch, they're tired, and you get that second game of the doubleheader swing. You get under everything, tired arms.
2 out, bases empty for Posada. Jorge has singled and scored. He's grounded out twice. And another pop-up. Shallow right. Nixon is there. Inning over. Good work by Cormier. Time to stretch. It's only a 1-run game. Missed opportunities on each side. Yankees lead it 5-4.
New SUV. The new Nissan Xterra. Everything you need, and nothing you don't.
It's time for E-Trade, the #1 place to invest online.
Come on, let's go.
Camcorder, $400. 3-hour tape, $7. Extra battery, $25. Home movies with Hank Aaron and Willie Mays, priceless. Use your MasterCard and you could win 4 tickets to a '99 World Series game and sit with baseball's legends. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard, sponsor of the Major League Baseball All-Century Team.
This is how hundreds of thousands of smokers have quit. It's the gradual step-down method, and you get it only from Nicoderm CQ. Store brand patches have only one step. You can't step down your dose. Nicoderm CQ has 3. You step down gradually, and gradual is the method doctors prefer. Quitting's important. Choose carefully. Nicoderm CQ. The power to calm, the power to comfort, the power to help you quit.
Time now to check in and see who our A&W fan cam is zeroed in on. How about the kids? Always a safe bet every week. As we watch some of the kids who maybe are being introduced to this rivalry, the Yankees and Red Sox, for the first time. A kid at heart, George Steinbrenner, who's working on his cell phone. Down in the seats. I'll show you more kids here at Fenway Park. What a great setting. What a great way to be introduced to the game of baseball. Come watch a game here at Fenway.
George Steinbrenner probably saying, I keep trying to get Dan Duquette, but his line's busy. Now's your chance. Go. Now.
Right on cue. George
finally got through. Dan, George. Third person from the bottom for the Yankee dugout.
Trot Nixon leads it off. Brian Cashman somewhere saying, hey, let me in. Brian Cashman, the Yankee general manager.
Don't know. Maybe. It's possible.
A lot of things that could be discussed there. As Nixon takes strike 2, 0-2. What do you think of Clemens now? Jeter for Nomar. You guys can have Clemens back. I'll throw in my Yankee sunglasses. Nixon takes it down for a ball, 1-2. The shot that spawned 1,000 lines. 999 of which I'm going to keep to myself. The 1-2 pitch, breaking ball, strikes out. Nixon looking. Good start for Grimsley. The curse. I mean, it can't be laid out any better than this. What's the curse of the Bambino? Before the trade, the selling of Babe Ruth, you look at the pennants and championships for the Yankees compared to the Red Sox. Now look since. Moved to the Yankees for the 1920 season. 35 pennants and 24 championships later. The Red Sox are still looking for their first since 1918.
And it's not only that they haven't won since 1918, but it's how they've lost. 1946, they lose to the Cardinals on the Johnny Pesky non-throw from shallow left field on the double by Harry Walker. Eno Slaughter scoring from first base. 1967 had Jim Lonborg had one more day pitching against Gibson on 2 days rest. Bob had 3 days rest. 1975, we talked about Joe Morgan's hit against Jim Burton after the dramatic home run by Carlton Fisk. And then to top it all off, 1986. Horrible.
We'll just keep it right there.
All 4 series going to 7 games.
American League champions in 1986. Babe Ruth at the time when he was moved to the Yankees was the best left-handed pitcher. in the American League. In fact, Ruth won a couple of games as a pitcher in that 1918 World Series as Offerman checked his swing. The count goes to 3-1, and Jose Offerman is in the rare position of possibly walking for the third time today. Not one of the more patient hitters in the game. One out, nobody on, seventh inning. Red Sox batting down by 1. 5-4 Yankees. And Offerman draws his third walk of the day, and the tying run is on for the Red Sox. Offerman has stolen one here today. Been on base 4 times in the leadoff spot for the Red Sox this afternoon. Offerman has stolen 13 on the season. .59%, 13 out of 22 attempts. I'm sure he is at least thinking about doing some running here. Tying run at first with 1 out. Stays put on strike 1 to John Valentin.
Usually in hit and run counts, it's even more important to throw a strike on the first pitch, because if you fall behind, you almost talk the opposition into hitting and running. Valentine grounded to a double play his last time up. Grimsley throws a lot of ground balls. The ideal pitcher to do it against, but scratch that thought with 2 strikes.
0-2 the count. Grimsley with no backup getting ready for him in the bullpen. They think of his work here this afternoon and for the season. He's been a very dependable right-hander out of the Yankee bullpen. 1 out walk. Tying run is on. Valentin goes 1 into left. That's well hit and off the wall. Offerman digs around third. They're going to bring him to the plate. Tie game here in the 7th on an RBI double by John Valentin.
Because of his inexperience in left field, Jose Offerman took off immediately, judging by the reaction of Shane Spencer that he was going to have a tough time making this play. That ball about mid-shin high, actually fielded by Chad Curtis. Here's Spencer right here, getting out of the way so Curtis can make the play. And then Curtis misses the cutoff man, but Offerman took off the minute the ball was hit.
What a game for Jose Offerman. Been on base 4 times today, 3 times with a walk. He scored twice. His run ties it here in the 7th inning, 5-5, and now with a go-ahead run at second. Only 1 out. It's Daubach. Garciaparra waits on deck. Off the end of the bat. 0-2. Still no action at the moment for the Yankees out in their bullpen. Your time in the Yankee bullpen. Mendoza and Rivera. There's a shot into right center field. Over to Kenneth O'Neill. Off the bat of Daubach. 2 down, and holding at second is Valentin. And now Garciaparra will walk in. And we'll see how they pitch to Garciaparra and if they pitch to Garciaparra.
I think they'll try to pitch to him, and I think if you're in Grimsley's shoes, you're trying to make Garciaparra hit a ball out of the strike zone. If you're going to pitch him down, pitch him lower than low. If you're going to pitch him outside off the plate.
Posada just looked into the dugout. They work to Garciaparra. With first base open and 2 out, they definitely don't have to give in to him. Go ahead run at second, 2 down here in the 7th inning. Garciaparra rockets one foul. Well, that was nearly a huge mistake by Grimsley.
I agree with that. If Garciaparra beats you, and this is the one guy that the Yankees do not want to beat them. Now Posada is out to talk to Grimsley. This should be the area that you work Nomar Garciaparra. Nothing in here. And you can see that last pitch. And Grimsley got away with it.
Runner at second, 2 down. The 0-1 to Garciaparra. Chased that one straight to.
That was nasty from Grimsley. Lower than low.
Stanton getting ready, the left-hander for the Yankees in their bullpen. Right now, it's a battle between Grimsley and Garciaparra. Nomar flinching on ball 1 low. There's the go-ahead run. Valentin. His double is tied it here in the 7th. By Stanton getting ready, a lefty O'Leary on deck. Nomar wants time. Now Mendoza joins Stanton in the Yankee bullpen. Garciaparra trying to put the Red Sox out in front for the first time today. The Red Sox a half game out in the wild card race behind Toronto coming into the action. Ball 3.
If you're Grimsley, you keep trying to throw the same hook into the water, lower than low. You walk him, so what?
The 3-2. Garciaparra, base in left field. They will hold Valentin at third. And it's first and third, 2 down. Well, Nomar took a bite out of that hook and got a line drive hit into left.
Fish were biting. What Grimsley did, he raised the sights a bit. About mid-thigh high. It was low. Anything in the strike zone. What a lethal hitter. Like a cobra after the mongoose. He hit it so hard, however, that Valentin can't score.
Wendell Kim, the third base coach, held Valentin at third. Joe Torre out to the mound to make the pitching change. O'Leary will be the hitter. The Red Sox have tied it here in the 7th. Have first and third, 2 out. Look for the lead as Stanton comes in for the Yankees.
This is Hugh. This is my son. He started on drugs when he was 16. When his life became confused, unreal, filled with horrifying hallucinations, he ended his life. Get between your kids and drugs any way you can if you want to save the kid's life.
G'day, mate. I hear you Yanks are headed down under for a footy match.
Terrell Davis, 15-10, touchdown.
We'll see if Terrell and your defending champion Broncos can run circles around the Chargers. Boy, that junior's wild as a dingo. Can't wait to have a gander at your Sheilas.
It's a Fox NFL special as the Chargers battle the Broncos in the American Bowl. Live from Sydney, Australia, next Saturday at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific.
There is a virtual world within our world. From Chris Carter, creator of The X-Files, Harsh Realm. Fridays this fall on Fox.
Nomar Garciaparra, anything in the strike zone, as we said, lethal. Man, that ball about mid-thigh high. You get the idea. He had 2 pitches during that at-bat in the strike zone, and he hammered both of them hard, 1 foul and 1 fair. But he hit the pitch fair so hard that Valentin couldn't score. Talk about the monster, Joe. That thing takes a lot away from teams also. And the Red Sox see that all the time because the left fielder has to play so shallow with a man on second base. Third base coach can't score him. So here comes Mike Stanton, who's 1-2. He leads the Yankees in appearances with 43. Let's take a look at the sequence. You may remember that first pitch to Nomar Garciaparra. Pull foul, hard. Now watch Grimsley go to work. Out of the strike zone. Out of the strike zone. Out of the strike zone. Same thing. Base hit, Garciaparra.
Garciaparra gets the hit. Second hit of the inning for the Red Sox. They also were handed a walk. That walk came around to score on an RBI double by Valentin. He's over at third. Garciaparra at first, 2 out. And Troy O'Leary bats against the left-hander, Mike Stanton. O'Leary 1 out of 3 this afternoon, but faces a left-hander for the first time. O'Leary, a .310 hitter this season against left-handed pitching. Runners at the corners, 2 out. And a breaking ball. O'Leary was frozen. O'Leary 1 out of 6 lifetime against Stanton. And he pops it up off the end of the bat. Curtis over to get it. Stanton keeps it a tie game. So the Red Sox kept hanging around. An RBI double by Valentin finally ties it. We're 5-5 after 7.
Sorry. Not enough. No, still short.
For the great taste that will fill you up and never let you down.
Paper or plastic? Paper.
Make it a Bud Light.
Guys, need a receipt?
Here's what happens inside high horsepower engines. They get hot. Hot enough to turn firemen into ice cream truck drivers. You don't play with heat like this. You get Quaker State High Performance, a synthetic blend for high horsepower engines. It's been tested. Actually, it's been barbecued. For pure maximum protection, nothing's better. Quaker State, sensible technology. What more do you need to know?
How
How would you like to call anyone across America for just 8 cents a minute? Well, now you can. Because when you dial 1010-321, it's just 8 cents a minute for calls over 10 minutes. All day, every day. No monthly fees, no signing up. Just dial 1010-321 and calls will appear on your regular bill. At just 8 cents a minute, now you can stay even closer to the people you want to talk to the most. So remember, to get 8 cents a minute for calls over 10 minutes, just dial 1010-321.
What can I do you for, young fella? Just a filter. Just a filter. Did anyone else hear that? Son, you put inferior oil filters in your engine, and it's not long for this world. Look, nothing's more dependable than America's #1 filter, Fram. You'll thank me someday. Ah, youth.
Fram oil filters. Pay a little more now, or pay a lot later. And now Fram's rough-textured Sure Grip top makes changing your filter easier.
Live from legendary Saratoga, it's the Whitney Handicap. Tomorrow at 5 Eastern, 2 Pacific on Fox.
Derek Lowe is the new right-hander for the Boston Red Sox. Third pitcher of the day. 3 valuable innings turned in by Cormier. No runs, 2 hits. And now Lowe with a record of 1-2 into the action.
Lowe, true to his name, has to keep the ball down. He throws that sinker. Similar to Grimsley, with a little better breaking ball than Jason has.
He rocks back and brings it to start the 8th inning. A 5-5 game, and a strike is into Brocious, bottom 3 in the lineup. Spencer and Curtis will follow. Brocious hits in his first 2 at-bats. Out in front there, strike 2.
Pitchers in their windup are much like hitters in their batting stances. Doesn't matter how you start. It's a matter of comfort and everything. But Derek Lowe with a very, very unusual motion.
Off the hands, caught. Valentin, 1 away.
We have seen some dandy defensive plays today. This by Valentin. Well-timed jump. Nice play.
Think how high you could jump without that necklace. Great catch by Valentin, who's had a big day, and that excited Lowe and frustrated Brocious. 1 down. Shane Spencer now, 2 out of 3 today.
One thing Derek Lowe is thinking here, do not come inside to Shane Spencer.
Breaking ball fouled back.
He got away with 1 there. If you're going to make a mistake to a pull hitter like Spencer, make the mistake away. Mistakes away are singles. Mistakes inside could give the Yankees the lead.
5-5 in the 8th. 1 out, nobody on. To the shortstop, Garcia Park. That's routine, 2 out. For a game break. We haven't heard from him for a while. Let's go back to Keith Olbermann in the Fox Network Center.
Thought I went home, didn't you, Joe? All right, we've got a tie game in Cleveland now as well. The Indians were up by 2. Check out Manny Ramirez. Great throw to get Greg Norton, except boing, out it goes, and a second run scores. We're tied at 8, and it's E2 if you're scoring at home or even if you're alone. Joe?
Thank you, Keith. 2 out, nobody on. A line drive out, a ground out. Curtis takes a strike. Good relief work today from Cormier, and now Lowe trying to follow suit. Yankees, after wearing out the base paths, since 2 on, nobody out in the 6th inning, have had 8 consecutive outs without a base runner. Jam shot foul, 0-2, and Lowe's making this look easy.
Yankee fans may be thinking, why not Ricky Leday in this situation? Ricky Leday pulled the right abductor. It's right in the middle of the thigh. It's not the groin area. It's about 5-6 inches from that. Right in the middle of the thigh at the top. Still day to day.
2 out, bases empty. The 0-2 to Curtis. Got him over the outside corner. Quick and easy. 1, 2, 3 go the Yankees. Red Sox, bottom of the 8th. Husky, Varitek, Lewis coming up. Tied at 5.
That's weird. Honey, this lipstick doesn't look like your shade. Oh, $300 for a massage? I don't remember a massage. Honey, get in here. I'm watching the videotape for my bachelor party.
Thick-headed? Sure. But nothing compared to the rich, thick, frosty mug taste of an A&W root beer. With A&W, it's good to be thick-headed.
Boy, was that embarrassing. Here, let me rewind it.
Are you ready to make real noise? To make new friends? To take sharper pictures? Are you ready to build bridges? Learn diplomacy? Learn to swim? Are you ready to turn what you want to do into what you will do? Are you ready? Be all you can be.
Okay, now get the stick, okay? Get the stick, rascal! Get the stick! It's gotta be the puppy chow.
Purina's reformulated Puppy Chow. Now there's no better way to get your puppy off to a great start. New Purina Puppy Chow helps build strong bones and muscles and supports a healthy immune system. The building blocks your growing puppy needs for a long, strong, and exceptional life. Incredible puppy food, incredible puppies. Purina Puppy Chow brand.
250,000 fans, 22 bands, free only on Fox. The best of Woodstock 99, Tuesday at 8/7 Central.
Fox Saturday Baseball is brought to you by A&W. With A&W, it's good to be thick-headed. By the U.S. Army. Be a part of the toughest, smartest Army in the world. Be all you can be. By Ralston Purina Company of Checkerboard Square. And by smooth, refreshing Michelob Light. Beer from Michelob.
Welcome back to Boston. Butch Husky will lead it off for the Red Sox. Bottom of the 8th inning tie game. First game for Husky as a Boston Red Sox player in Toronto. He hits this shot off David Wells. May have gone out. Many people thought it did. It was not ruled a home run. But then on Wednesday, his first home run off Joey Hamilton, a grand slam. And then home run number 2 off John Frascatore. A solo shot. Boston swept those 2 games at Toronto. The numbers for Husky in his start with the Red Sox. With those 2 wins in Toronto, went out in front of the Blue Jays in the wild card race until last night. They're now a half game out.
Sending balls airborne in Toronto as Ramiro Mendoza comes in. Butch Husky, speaking of airborne, traveled 6,000 miles in 24 hours. Left for Seattle on Thursday, came back yesterday at 11.
So he traveled all the way back to get a few things and then
6 bags
and came back.
And was tickled to death that the airlines did not charge him excess baggage rates.
Husky a big swing and missing 1 ball 1 strike from Mendoza.
Tough to lift a ball from Mendoza as you see Jason Varitek, the on deck batter.
High delivery. Husky went after it. Strike 2.
All 3 pitches up in the strike zone. That is not good news for Joe Torre and the Yankees. A lot of times Mendoza will drop his hand and that causes him to more or less push the ball and not throw that sinking fastball. He has not thrown the sinker that he's capable of throwing yet.
Husky pops it up left side. Jeter up, called off by Spencer. One down, nobody on. And we'll tell you about Sunday, August 8th. It's anything but love when the world's best take it to center court. It's the TIG Tennis Classic final round next Sunday at 3 Eastern, noon Pacific, and that's only on Fox. Big day for Varitek. Had a hit taken away and a ground ball up the middle his last time up. Did produce a run. He's 2 out of 3. Trade talk swirling around the name Ramiro Mendoza. One of the topics yesterday as Veritek pops it down the line. Spencer a long run there. 2 out. No doubt Mendoza hearing those rumors, and that's all they are, as Spencer goes into the corner to take a hit away from Veritek.
Nice play by a left fielder not known for his defense. Shane having to worry about the wall and the ball. Good play.
Reggie Jefferson is going to come off the bench and hit for Darren Lewis, who was 0 for 3 while he was in there. Jefferson off the bench. Batting with 2 out, nobody on.
Reggie has one thing on his mind, and for that reason, Tino Martinez guarding the line at first base to protect against the extra base hit. Reggie going for the pump.
And a ball up and away from Mendoza.
That's the way to combat that. When a hitter is going for the pump, you try to keep the ball away. Again, mistakes away are singles, not homers.
Reggie Jefferson pinch hitting. Big swing. 1 ball, 1 strike. Just to finish the thought on Mendoza. Sure, there are a lot of general managers who might rather have Mendoza than Pettit. This is a right-hander who is so valuable either in the bullpen or would start for most any team that would acquire him.
Yeah, and for that reason, I think the Yankees would part with Pettit long before they would Mendoza.
That's into left field. Well hit. Won't be caught. Midway up the green monster. All that is a single for Jefferson. And now a pinch runner as Damon Buford's going to come off the bench. Jefferson has done his job with his swing and this hit.
Well, the green monster giveth, and in this particular instance, taketh away.
Buford now running for Jefferson.
Ball a home run in a lot of parks with lower fences, but here played nicely by Spencer's. Had a very busy inning.
Damon Buford runs, and he'll stay in the game and play center. He's the go-ahead run at first with 2 down for the number 9 hitter Trot Nixon. The ball outside. If Nixon doesn't do anything here in the 8th inning, after all this, it would be a tie game going into the 9th inning with the top of the order scheduled for each side. But Nixon would like to get into one here, and he shoots one into left. Spencer back in front of the wall to make the catch. Shane Spencer made all 3 putouts out in left, also played the ball well, hit by Jefferson. Good inning for the left fielder Shane Spencer. Top of the order will bat as we go to the 9th inning at historic Fenway Park. Building of the Green Monster. It's been busy today. 5-5 after 8.
Call it a bonanza, an extravaganza. It's how you save on tires. Now at Pep Boys, all 35,000-mile tires are 4 for only $99, and all 70,000-mile tires 4 for $169. Pep Boys.
Cars like us.
People love us.
In the battle against athlete's foot, you gotta have Boom, Tough Actin Tenactin. Now in a new pump spray. Nothing stops and prevents the itching, burning, and cracking better than Tenactin antifungals. They're so tough, they even prevent athlete's foot. Get Boom, Tough Actin Tenactin.
What do you want out of life? What do you imagine it to be? We're American General Financial Group, helping over 12 million people live the life they've imagined. With retirement plans, life insurance, and consumer loans. American General Financial Group. Live the life you've imagined.
John Elway could throw a ball with accuracy and then some. In '98, he fired a slant pass from 25 yards away. His receiver saw a brown blur coming at him and stuck out his hand where he figured the ball would be. I expected to catch it, he said later. I didn't expect it to break my hand.
Expect more from an original. Original Coors. Brewed a mile high.
What'd you expect me to drink?
It's here. The GMC Summer Convoy. 2 million tons of professional-grade trucks, designed better than they need to be. Pickups, SUVs, and family vans. And on select 1999 models, some of the best values of the year. So come in now. This is one convoy you don't want passing you by. The GMC Summer Convoy.
None of my nudity is gratuitous. In all my films, all my nudity has been absolutely gratuitous. That's what I'm about, gratuitousness.
A Let's Go Yankees cheer erupts from the crowd here at Fenway. Damon Buford stays in the game in center field. He's joined out there by O'Leary in left and Nixon in right. Top of the order for each side in the 9th inning in a 5-5 game at the moment. Knobloch, Jeter, and O'Neill against Derek Lowe, who went 1-2-3 in the 8th inning. Roches lined out. Spencer grounded out. Curtis struck out. Knobloch has homered, singled, popped up trying to bunt, and fly to left. He's got that green monster swing working. Takes a fastball for a strike. Joe Buck and Tim McCarver with you from Fenway Park here in Boston. Yankees were all over the bases at the start of this day, a day in which we came in talking about Roger Clemens coming back in a Yankee uniform to pitch here at Fenway. Knobloch took a ball. Clemens lasted only 5+ innings. Eventually allowed 4 runs on 4 hits. Now it's Mendoza out of the bullpen. And it's a battle of the bullpens here in the late innings as the Red Sox have scored runs in the 5th, 6th, and 7th to tie it. There's that guy again. Strike 2 on Knobloch. Wear a helmet at least.
Yeah. Third base, the hot corner, and also beyond third base.
Dan Duquette just watching now. No deals done yet, or at least none that he has shared. As the 1-2 pitch is brought home to Knobloch. 2-2.
Look at the odd shadow around home plate that Chuck Knobloch has to cope with. Also, John Valentin at third base. The light stanchion shadows could be a problem.
The 2-2 from Lowe. Knobloch, base hit into center for Chuck, his 3rd of the day. And there's the go-ahead run with nobody out here in the 9th.
This is a tough call for Joe Torre. The league's leading hitter, Derek Jeter. Do you sacrifice? I don't think so. I don't think you waste an out. In past years, yes. Not at this stage of Derek Jeter's career. The alternative, the hit and run. I'll guarantee you that's what Don Zimmer and Joe Torre are talking about. If the first pitch is a ball, the second pitch more than likely will be the hit and run. Trying to find out is Derek Lowe.
It's the way Don Zimmer would have done it. He was known for managing by the seat of his pants when he was with the Chicago Cubs, when he was here with the Red Sox. At times would be ultra aggressive. That would be an aggressive move. The safe way is to have Jeter bunt the go-ahead run down to second and leave Knobloch out there for O'Neill or Bernie Williams. See what they do with Jeter. Letting him swing, and he took a ball.
1 ball and no strikes. And now is the time to put the hit and run on. No relief this year for the Red Sox. Joe talked about it earlier. Out since June the 11th. Elbow surgery for Tom Gordon. He wouldn't be pitching now anyway in a tie ball game, but a big miss by the Red Sox.
Jeter grounds to short. They don't bunt. 6 6-4-3 double play.
I wonder if Chuck Knobloch missed a hit and run then.
I was going to say they don't bunt, and they also didn't hit and run.
Yeah. You hit and run, at least you've got a sinker ball pitcher out there. You're going to get a lot of ground balls off of him. If you don't bunt, the reasonable alternative is the hit and run. Joe Torre doesn't do that, and Derek Jeter grounds into a double play. So Derek Lowe gets exactly what he wants.
Easily turned by Garciaparra and Offerman. Offerman's had a big day at the plate, in the field, as Tim pointed out earlier. And now with 2 out, nobody on, Paul O'Neill, who has homered, walked, singled, scored twice. That's with 2 out, nobody on, and reaches for 1. Ground ball to Offerman. Hitting over. A leadoff hit by Knobloch. Jeter bounced into a double play. Offerman, Valentin, Daubach. If anybody gets on, Garciaparra coming up for the Red Sox. Bottom of the 9th inning. Tied at 5.
Dad, EJ, 170 million. That's a record. Think it's going to change you?
Absolutely not. E.J. Tucker's never been about money. E.J. Tucker's never played for money, and money will not change E.J. Tucker, not one iota.
Say, is that a Bud Light?
Oh, yeah, it's last one. Oh, yeah? What do you say I give you $1 million for it?
With a great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down. Make it a Bud Light.
What do you want for that watch?
Nancy always wanted a Red Sea Emperor.
Make sure you get him into a tank within an hour.
No problem. Well, a lot can happen in an hour. The other driver's insurance company, Progressive, actually showed up.
What's with the fish? I don't normally do this, but it looks like you need a ride.
Yeah, I never expected this. Maybe I should give him a call. And maybe next time I'll just get her a plane.
Call 1-800-AUTO-PRO or your authorized independent agent.
Free on Fox. Woodstock 99 with Bush, Sheryl Crow, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Limp Bizkit, The Offspring, Alanis Morissette, Korn, Dave Matthews Band, Jamiroquai, Kid Rock, Jewel, Counting Crows, Elvis Costello, Metallica, and many more. The world's biggest concert, Woodstock 99, Tuesday at 8/7 Central.
We get into the bottom of the 9th inning, top of the order for the Boston Red Sox. This is a much bigger game for the Red Sox than it is for the Yankees. As you look at the wild card standings, the Blue Jays right now a half game up on the Red Sox. The Oakland A's only 3.5 out. Mariners trying to hang in it. And at the moment, Detroit leads very early at Toronto, 3-1.
With the Oakland Athletics so close, it's even more puzzling why they would get rid of a guy like Kenny Rogers. 15-0 at that stadium. Traded to the Mets a week ago.
Offerman has been to the plate 4 times. He has reached base 4 times. And he rockets one into right center field. That won't be caught. All the way to the wall. And Offerman should end up at least at third. What a day for Jose Offerman. The winning run at third with nobody out. The guts as a manager to put Offerman on the bench despite that big contract. He's been on the bench since Sunday. His last start, he gets the start today, and with the infield in and the outfield in, Valentin could win it for the Red Sox. Strike 1.
One of the rare times when the outfield moves in with the infield. As you see right here, a sacrifice fly, the game's over. You position yourself where a line drive to you, you can throw out the runner flat-footed.
Valentin pops it up down in the corner. Spencer gives it a look. That is a fair ball, and this game is over. Red Sox win. Valentin, another big day. 6-5 Boston.
Shane Spencer's got to drop the ball and not catch the ball any way you look at it. You just hope the ball's foul, because it's going to be deep enough to score the runner from third. What a day by Jose Offerman.
Down in that corner, you're at the mercy of the umpire, and the third base umpire, Mike Riley, ruled it a fair ball. Spencer had no play once it was fair. And Offerman, who tripled, scores the winning run. Redemption for Offerman back in the starting lineup. First time since Sunday, and boy, did he make his presence felt.
The Red Sox from a sacrificial offering to an Offerman.
And this shot down the line by Valentin that just stayed fair. This game was on pause for a moment while we waited for that ball to come down. Offerman watching it all the way, scores without a play. And the Red Sox win it 6-5, a come from behind effort, and the Boston Red Sox at this moment are tied with Toronto at the top of the American League wild card standings.
A big win for the plucky Red Sox.
After a 13-3 loss last night, they put Offerman back in their lineup. He walked in the first, walked in the third, singled home a run in the fifth, walked and scored in the seventh. Today's play of the game brought to you by Energizer. This to lead off the ninth inning. 5 times on base today, and Offerman made it to third easily as that ball rolled all the way to the wall, and that was followed by the hit by Valentin to win it, and the Red Sox win their 56th game of the year. So for Tim McCarver, I'm Joe Buck. So long from Fenway Park. Final score 6-5. The Red Sox win it. Steve Horn, our editorial consultant here in the booth. For our producer, Michael Weissman. Our director, Bill Webb. Associate Director, Aaron Stoikov. Mitch Riggin in the truck. Derek Manning. So many who helped bring you this game. Turned in to be a really good effort here today on each side, and an exciting ball game at the end. Red Sox win a game they really wanted. 6-5 over their arch rival, the Yankees, on a day when Roger Clemens started the game for the Yankees here at Fenway. The Red Sox win it 6-5. Off to the studio, Keith and Steve.